Chapter 16:27. However, to Zhao Ping's disappointment, when she pounced on it again, the rooster ran away again. The rooster seemed to have received a huge shock, and it flew up to the tree branch. Looking at the tall tree, Zhao Ping stood under it, her heart filled with despair. She couldn't catch it on the ground, and now that the rooster had flown up the tree, it was even more impossible to catch it. Zhao Ping couldn't help but vent her anger. Standing under the tree, she scolded, "You stinky chicken, hurry up and come down. If you don't come down, I'm going to climb up there." Hearing Zhao Ping's dangerous words, the rooster couldn't understand. However, Zhao Ping's voice was very loud, and it frightened the rooster. The rooster crowed incessantly on the tree. Zhao Ping became even angrier. "I told you to come down, but you didn't listen. What are you chirping about? Do you think I'll let you go and not eat you if you keep chirping like that? Let me tell you, don't even think about it. If you come down earlier, I can make you suffer a little more. Otherwise, when I catch you, I'll slowly torture you to death." The rooster cried out a few more times on the tree. At this moment, there was no one watching. If there was someone watching, they would probably think that Zhao Ping was crazy. How could an animal understand what she was talking about? The result of an animal not being able to understand human language was that any kind of terrifying threat would be useless. Zhao Ping stood under the tree angrily. "You stinky chicken, you're not being kind. Do you think you'll be fine after hiding from me on the tree? Hee, let me tell you, I'll catch you today. If you don't come down, I'll guard this tree until you come down. I don't believe that you can stay on the tree forever." At this time, Liang Jinxiao saw that Zhao Ping hadn't come back for a while, so he went out to look for Zhao Ping. Although he was angry at Zhao Ping, he thought that Zhao Ping was pregnant. If the child in her belly was hurt, it would be a big problem. When he found Zhao Ping, he saw Zhao Ping standing under the tree. The rooster was on the tree, and it was crying out as if it was greatly frightened. Liang Jinxiao saw this situation and frowned. He said to Zhao Ping, "Since the rooster has run up the tree, I don't think we can catch it today. Let's forget it." Zhao Ping felt that Liang Jinxiao must be reluctant to let the rooster go. She was afraid that if she missed this opportunity, it wouldn't be easy to eat it next time. She stubbornly refused. "No, mother, I must catch this chicken today." Liang Jinxiao saw that Zhao Ping began to be willful again, and he was displeased. "You child, why do you have to be so stubborn? You can't catch it, but you still want to catch it. It's a waste of effort." Zhao Ping pursed her lips and said, "Mother, it's a waste of effort. It's my effort that's wasted, not yours. What are you worried about?" Liang Jinxiao found that he couldn't win against Zhao Ping. This child just wouldn't listen to him. No matter how much he said, it would be useless, so he might as well not say anything. He calmly replied to Zhao Ping, "If you want to catch it, then catch it." Even if Zhao Ping insisted and waited to catch it, Zhao Ping wouldn't be able to catch it. After all, the rooster had flown up the tree. How could Zhao Ping catch it? Okay. Chapter 16:28. Zhao Ping waited for quite a while, and she was getting impatient. "You stinky chicken, I told you to come down. Did you hear me? That's not a favor." Zhao Ping scolded angrily. The rooster on the tree continued to caw at Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping felt that it wasn't a good idea to continue waiting like this. If the rooster continued to stay on the tree, how long would she have to wait? It was quite tiring for her to stand guard under the tree. Zhao Ping frowned. She stared at the rooster on the tree and thought for a while. In the end, she said, "Fine, if you don't want to come down, I have plenty of ways to make you come down." As she spoke, Zhao Ping picked up a stone from the ground and threw it at the tree. If she couldn't make the rooster come down, she could at least throw the stone at it. Zhao Ping threw the stone at the rooster. As expected, when the rooster saw the stone falling towards it, it was so frightened that it shook its wings. However, it didn't come down from the tree. The rooster was probably very smart. It knew that if it came down from the tree, it would be worse than staying on the tree. Zhao Ping would definitely chase after it. Zhao Ping continued to pick up a few more stones and threw them at the tree. The rooster nimbly dodged them. Zhao Ping was a little annoyed. She couldn't get the rooster to come down after throwing so many stones. What should she do? Just as Zhao Ping was in a daze, a black, sticky thing suddenly fell from the tree. This thing fell on Zhao Ping's face. Zhao Ping touched her face. When her hand came into contact with the sticky thing, her brows tightly knitted together. She quickly used her sleeve to wipe her face. She rubbed her hand on the ground to get rid of the sticky thing. However, when she smelled it again, it still smelled bad. Zhao Ping felt a wave of nausea rising from her stomach. She retched and cursed at the rooster on the tree. "Smelly chicken, you've got guts. You actually dared to shit on me. I think you're tired of living. Come down, hurry up and come down." Zhao Ping stomped her feet angrily under the tree, but there was nothing she could do. He had scolded him and smashed him with rocks, but the rooster still refused to come down. Zhao Ping thought for a moment, then pointed at the big rooster and said, "Just you wait. I'll climb up and catch you now. Let's see where you can run to." With that, Zhao Ping rolled up her sleeves and prepared to climb the tree. As a child, Zhao Ping often climbed trees, so she had some skills in climbing trees. However, after she grew up, she did not continue to climb trees. With the foundation battle experience from when she was a child, she should not be too bad at climbing trees. Zhao Ping tried to climb. Although it was a bit difficult, after climbing halfway, Zhao Ping suddenly fell down. The tree trunk was still a bit slippery. In addition, Zhao Ping's body was heavy, so she slid down from the tree. She wanted to climb up again, but she could not climb up again. This fall was not light. It hurt so much that Zhao Ping gritted her teeth. Today, she did not catch the rooster. Instead, she got injured all over. It was really not worth it. Zhao Ping's but was already seriously injured when she fell to the ground because of Husher's push. This time it was one disaster after another. Zhao Ping was in so much pain that a layer of cold sweat appeared on her forehead. "I'm so angry. I'm so angry." Zhao Ping struggled to get up and cursed. Chapter 16:29. Zhao Ping staggered back. With every step she took, she felt the wound on her buttocks tug painfully. This was even more unbearable than when Xiao He had bitten her. The most painful part was that the original wound had not healed yet. Now, the wound was getting worse. Now, not only was it painful, but there was also a heart-wrenching itch in the midst of the pain. Zhao Ping felt really uncomfortable. Mother, Zhao Ping yelled for Liang Jinxiao the moment she returned to old Zhao's courtyard. Usually, whenever she had a minor illness or pain, she would count on Liang Jinxiao to take care of her. This time was no exception. When she arrived at old Zhao's courtyard, Zhao Yun also came over. Zhao Yun and Liang Jinxiao were busy working together. The two of them were chattering away, but she did not know what they were talking about. When she got closer, she heard that Zhao Yun was going to organize a banquet tomorrow and was discussing with Liang Jinxiao about tomorrow's matters. The two of them were talking and laughing, not paying attention to her at all. Zhao Ping looked at Liang Jinxiao in dissatisfaction. She had called out so many times, but Liang Jinxiao did not respond to her at all. Instead, he was talking and laughing with Zhao Yun. Zhao Ping leaned over and complained to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, I called out to you. Why did you ignore me?" Liang Jinxiao raised his eyebrows and glanced at Zhao Ping. He replied indifferently, "I didn't hear you call out to me just now. Why did you call out to me?" Zhao Ping pouted and said aggrievedly, "Mother, you don't care about me at all. You only know how to talk to Yun. I shouted so loudly, but you didn't even hear me." Liang Jinxiao said unhappily, "Ping, how can you say that? Mother really didn't hear you. I didn't do it on purpose." "Mother," Zhao Ping felt even more aggrieved. She pointed at her buttocks and said, Mother, my buttocks are hurt. It hurts so much. I think the wound has split open. Liang Jinxiao frowned for a moment. He was not as concerned about Zhao Ping as before. Instead, he asked, "Why did you hurt your buttocks?" Zhao Ping lowered her head and muttered, "Mother, it's all because I wanted to catch that stinky chicken. I was going to climb up the tree to catch it. Who knew that I would fall down the tree halfway and hit my buttocks? Today, young mistress pushed me, and I fell down. These two falls added together, so my buttocks." Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Ping with disappointment. "I said that you deserved it. I told you not to catch it, but you didn't listen. Look at what happened now. You hurt your buttocks too." "Mother, that stinky chicken pooped on my face, so I climbed up the tree to catch it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have caught it. It's all that stinky chicken's fault." "Mother, you can't just blame me." Liang Jinxiao shook her head helplessly. She did not know how to reprimand her daughter. It was bad enough that she argued with a child just now. Now, she was arguing with a chicken. She did not know what she would argue with later. Every time she tried to persuade her, she would stubbornly insist on doing things her own way. When she suffered, she would complain in front of her. What could she do? If she had listened to her, things would not have turned out this way. "Don't talk to me anymore. If you're hurt, you can deal with it yourself. But I'm not a doctor. What can I do?" Liang Jinxiao said coldly and ignored Zhao Ping. Mother. Chapter 1630. Mother, why don't you care about me at all? I've already become like this. Mother, after Zhao Ping called out a few times, Liang Jinxiao didn't continue to pay attention to Zhao Ping. Zhao Yun looked at Zhao Ping and then looked at Liang Jinxiao. Seeing that Liang Jinxiao lowered his head and steeled his heart to ignore Zhao Ping, his attitude was very firm. Compared to his previous gentle temperament, there were some changes. Of course, this was something worth celebrating for Zhao Yun. If Liang Jinxiao continued to be obedient to Zhao Ping, she didn't know what Zhao Ping would do to him in the future. If this continued, it wouldn't be a good thing for her. After all, if Liang Jinxiao happened to live with her in the future, what would be the point of dragging Zhao Ping along? After Zhao Ping called out a few times, she was so angry that she stomped her feet. "Mother, how can you be like this?" Zhao Yun's mouth curved into a smile, and she said sarcastically, "Ping, Ijia, what you said is really heartless. Don't tell me that mother doesn't care enough about you. This time, you looked for trouble and hurt yourself. What can I do to you? Could it be that your butt is injured and you want mother to treat your wound? Or do you want Nyang Nyang to do something for you?" Zhao Ping angrily glared at Zhao Yun, and then reprimanded Zhao Yun. "Zhao Yun, don't get in the middle and sow discord between me and mother. I'm just speaking the truth. Ping, Jia, you're already an adult, but you're still making people worry. Every day, you make mother do this and that for you. Which married daughter would rely on her maternal family like this? You're probably the only one. Not only are you ungrateful, but you're also scolding mother. You're bringing others to judge and see if they're only talking about you. You. Zhao Yun, don't talk nonsense. When did I say that mother is bad? You're deliberately saying this to make mother angry and ignore me, right?" Zhao Yun only found it laughable. She scratched her ear, and a faint smile hung on her lips. "When did I talk nonsense? Didn't you just say that mother doesn't care about you at all? Mother and I both heard it. Is there something wrong with our ears?" After Zhao Yun's words, Liang Jinxiao's frowned. His expression didn't look too good. Think about what Zhao Ping just said. If she did not take care of him properly, she would say that she was in the wrong and did not care. No family's daughter would be like this. Her words really made one feel bitterly disappointed. It seemed that all her efforts didn't fall into Zhao Ping's eyes. Or perhaps, in Zhao Ping's eyes, everything she did was right. The more Liang Jinxiao thought about it, the more bitterly disappointed he felt. "Zhao Yun you. Zhao Ping was so angry that she pointed at Zhao Yun. However, She couldn't argue with Zhao Yun, so she was speechless when Zhao Yun refuted her. Liang Jinxiao's cold voice sounded again. Ping, don't make a fuss. Hurry up and go back to your room. You're making my head hurt. Mother, why aren't you going back? Don't tell me you don't want to eat lunch? Or is your injury not painful enough? Zhao Ping pursed her lips, feeling wronged. I'll go back to my room. Before entering the room, Zhao Ping glared hatefully at Zhao Yun. If Zhao Yun wasn't in front of her mother's heart might have softened. Chapter 1631. Now, the wound on her butt hurt so much that Zhao Ping felt like her flesh was being torn apart. It hurts. What should I do? Zhao Ping muttered. Zhao Yun glanced at Zhao Ping's cowardice and couldn't help but shake her head. No one could stand Zhao Ping. Only Liang Jinxiao, her mother, had the patience to talk to Zhao Ping. Zhao Yun, and Liang Jinxiao spoke a few more words. When she was about to go back, she saw Zhao Jin, crying secretly in the corner of the room. Zhao Yun walked over and said to Zhao Jin, Sister Jing, what's wrong with you? Seeing Zhao Yun coming over, Zhao Jin wiped her tears with her sleeves and replied to Zhao Yun, no, nothing. Seeing the tears in the corners of Zhao Jin's eyes, Zhao Yun frowned. She was crying, yet she said she was fine. She must have something on her mind. Little Sister Jing, did something bad happen? You'll feel better if you tell me. Why don't you tell me? Zhao Jin looked up at Zhao Yun, sighed deeply and said, actually, it's not a big deal. I'm getting married in a few days, but my mother hasn't come back yet. On the day I get married, my mother has to be by my side, right? Otherwise, who can send me off? Hearing Zhao Jin's words, Zhao Yun felt some sympathy for Zhao Jin. It had been a while since she should have left old Zhao's house, but Zhao Wenshui didn't go to Li Chuiying's in-laws' house to pick her up. No wonder Zhao Jing was upset. Zhao Wenshui was usually very lazy and would ask Zhao Jing to take care of him from time to time. Li Chuiying was in old Zhao's house, so at least there was someone to take care of him. Sister Jing, let your father pick it up, Zhao Yun said. Zhao Jinger lowered her head. My father won't go. Why not? If your mother doesn't come back, who will cook for him? Speaking of this, Zhao Yun told her about every leftover meal from Liang Jinxiao. After listening, Zhao Yun finally understood. He was wondering how Zhao Wenshui could stand not having anyone to cook for him and serve him. It turned out that his cheap mother had cooked a lot. The third household provided him with good food and drinks every day, so how could Zhao Wenshui possibly think of Li Chuiying? If she wanted Zhao Wenshui to take the initiative to ask Li Chuiying to come back, she would have to ask her mother to cut off Zhao Wenshui's food. Zhao Wenshui would probably have to go to Li Chuiying obediently in a few days. Zhao Yun patted Zhao Jing's shoulder and said, Sister Jing, don't worry. I have a way to make your mother come back. Really? Zhao Jing asked expectantly. Yes, I should be able to. I have to try. Zhao Jing gratefully tugged at Zhao Yun and said, Yun, thank you. You're welcome. Zhao Yun smiled. As Zhao Yun spoke, she turned to talk to Liang Jinxiao. Only then did Liang Jinxiao realize the serious consequences of his actions. If he had known, he would not have sent food to Zhao Wenshui. Because of this, his second sister-in-law had not come back for so long. Yunner, I understand. You can go back. Yes. Mother, no matter what second uncle says, don't be soft-hearted. You must not give him food. After resting for so many days, even the most serious injuries have healed. Don't listen to his excuses. Yes, yes. Yun, I will remember. Mother, I will go back first. Okay. Not long after Zhao Yun left old Zhao's courtyard, the third household had finished preparing lunch. Chapter 1632. Usually, when Zhao Wenshui smelled the smell, he knew that the food in the third branch was ready, and Liang Jinxiao would bring the food to him in a while. However, today was different. Zhao Wenshui lay in bed and waited for half an hour, but Liang Jinxiao did not bring the food. His stomach was growling with hunger. Zhao Wenxue impatiently shouted a few words in the room. Third sister-in-law, third sister-in-law, third sister-in-law, third sister-in-law. Why don't you answer me? After shouting for a while, Zhao Wenxue did not see Liang Jinxiao come in. In the end, Zhao Wenxue had no choice. He ordered Zhao Jing, who was beside him, and said, Jing go to your third aunt's room and shout. Why didn't she answer me after I shouted for so long? Zhao Jing was a little reluctant to go and shout for Liang Jinxiao. After hesitating for a while, Zhao Wenxue urged her, Jing why are you still in a daze? Go quickly. Zhao Jing murmured, Father, haven't you recovered from your injuries? Why don't you go and call for third aunt yourself? Why do you insist on me going? Zhao Wenxue glared at Zhao Jing. Why are you so insensible? If I go, won't I be exposed? When your third aunt sees that I've recovered from my injury, will she still send me food? Father, why are you like this? You're already so old, yet you're still lying. Zhao Jing muttered in dissatisfaction. You wicked girl, what are you talking about? I asked you to go, but you didn't go. Now you're counting on me. Zhao Jing curled her lips. Father, I'll go, okay? Zhao Jing was afraid that Zhao Wenxue would nag at her in the room, which would be annoying. Zhao Wenxue stopped talking about Zhao Jing and waved his hand. Go quickly. Zhao Jing sighed, went to the third branch's room, and called for Liang Jinxiao. After Liang Jinxiao entered the second branch's room, she asked Zhao Wenxue, Second brother, why did you ask me to come here? Zhao Wenshue's face suddenly darkened. Liang Jinxiao did not know why he asked her to come here. It seemed that she had completely forgotten. Zhao Wenxue coughed softly and reminded her, Third sister-in-law, did you forget one thing today? Liang Jinxiao frowned and rolled her eyes. What's the matter? Second brother, just tell me directly. I can't remember. Zhao Wenshue's mood immediately became even more uncomfortable. Did she have to say it? Couldn't Liang Jinxiao think for herself? I say, third sister-in-law, did you forget to bring me lunch today? I waited for a long time, but it didn't come. I'm starving. Hurry up and get me something to eat now. Liang Jinxiao smiled awkwardly. Well, second brother, I'm sorry. I just ate at home, and there are no leftovers, so I can't bring you any more. Hearing Liang Jinxiao's words, Zhao Wenxue was stunned. With a bitter face, he said to Liang Jinxiao, Third sister, why are you like this? Didn't you promise to bring me food every day when I was recuperating? Why did you bring me food every day? Why did you suddenly stop today? Chapter 1633. Liang Jinxiao smiled awkwardly and said, Second brother, I did say that before, but that was when your injuries were not healed. Now that your injuries have healed, you naturally don't need me to give you food. Zhao Wenxue was slightly stunned, and his face turned even uglier. He stuttered back to Liang Jinxiao. Third sister-in-law, what nonsense are you talking about? When did my injuries heal? Liang Jinxiao chuckled and said, Second brother, your injuries haven't healed yet? But yesterday, I clearly saw you go to the toilet very smoothly. There's nothing wrong with you at all. Zhao Wenxue twitched the corner of his mouth and said, That's only on the surface. There are still wounds on my body that haven't healed. You can't see them, but in fact, I'm still injured. Second brother, Dr. Sun said that Ping is fine with such serious injuries. Your injuries are much lighter, so how can it be that you haven't healed yet? Besides, I'm moving to Yun'er's new house in 2 days. When I'm not in old Zhao's courtyard, even if your injuries are really fine, I can't bring you food anymore. I can't travel so far to bring you food, right? Third sister-in-law, you're obviously going back on your words. Zhao Wenxue looked dissatisfied and argued with Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao didn't want to talk more with Zhao Wenxue. Second brother, I've taken care of you for so many days. I've done what I should do, so I can't always serve you. Second brother, I think you should bring second sister-in-law back. With second sister-in-law taking care of you, she'll definitely do better than me. With that, Liang Jinxiao ignored Zhao Wenxue and directly left the second branch's room. Looking at Liang Jinxiao's back as he left, Zhao Wenshui was so angry that he couldn't speak for a while. Zhao Jing watched from the side, thinking that her father wouldn't be able to hold on for a few days before bringing her mother back. Third sister-in-law is too much. If she doesn't give me food, then where can I go to get it? Zhao Wenshui stomped his feet. He was very hungry now, and if he didn't eat, he wouldn't be able to stand it. Father, how is third aunt too much? It's good enough for her to bring you food for so long. Now that your injuries have healed, naturally, you shouldn't rely on third aunt anymore. Zhao Jing couldn't help but speak up. Zhao Wenshui's resentful gaze fell on Zhao Jinger. Why are you siding with an outsider? You only know how to speak for an outsider. Why don't you speak for your father? Zhao Jinger replied with some grievance. Father, I was just telling the truth. I didn't mean to speak up for third aunt. All right, I'm too lazy to talk to you. Go to your grandma's kitchen and get me something to eat. I'm starving. Zhao Wenshui urged Zhao Jinger. Zhao Jing frowned and looked troubled. Father, I've already had lunch. Grandma didn't have any leftovers. If you want to eat, you have to wait until evening. Zhao Wenshui suddenly broke down. What? You said your grandma also finished eating? Is she okay at all? It's good to have rice balls to fill the stomach. Father, there's really no leftovers, Zhao Jing said. Zhao Wenshui's face was bitter as he muttered. Really? She didn't leave any for me. Then what should I do? When will I be able to eat it at night? What should I do when I'm so hungry? I'm so angry. Chapter 1634. Zhao Wenshui shook his head firmly and said, No, your mother ran away by herself. If I go and pick her up, how embarrassing would that be? If I pick her up later, won't I have to do whatever she wants? Zhao Jinger smiled bitterly and said, Father, why do you care about face at this time? Mother's return is the most important thing. Father, I don't want to say this, but we can't do without mother. Zhao Wenshui didn't listen to Zhao Jinger and said, I say, girl, all you care about is your mother. Do you want to anger me to death? Zhao Jinger saw that Zhao Wenshui was really angry, so she didn't continue. She had to find an opportunity to talk about this matter slowly. Now that Zhao Wenshui didn't listen, it was useless no matter how much she tried to persuade him. Finally, it was night time. Zhao Wenshui, with a hungry stomach, hurriedly urged Hu Chunhua to cook. When people were hungry, it was easy to feel dizzy and dizzy. The feeling of an empty stomach was very uncomfortable. Hu Chunhua saw that Zhao Wenshui was eating with her at this time, so she was very dissatisfied. When the meal was finally ready, she called Zhao Wenshui over to eat. Zhao Wenshui, however, became picky about the food. Mother, why did you put so little oil in this dish? It's tasteless. It's not delicious at all. It's a waste of food. Even if you're saving money, you don't have to be so reluctant, right? And this dish, you only put a little bit of salt. It's too bland. It doesn't taste good in the mouth. I can't swallow it. And this, it wasn't that Hu Chunhua's dishes were worse than usual, but Zhao Wenshui was used to the food sent by Liang Jinqiao. When he came to eat Hu Chunhua's dishes, he couldn't get used to it. After all, the food of the third branch was rich in oil and tasted good. Hu Chunhua's dishes were far inferior. Because of the comparison and the difference, Zhao Wenshui started to be picky about the food while eating. Seeing Zhao Wenshui blabbering on and on, Hu Chunhua was a little annoyed. She replied to Zhao Wenshui unhappily. Wenshui, are you done picking? After being scolded by Hu Chunhua, Zhao Wenshui was shocked. He pouted and said, Mom, I was just telling the truth. His little sister had received so many betrothal gifts when she got married, so why should he save and not spend them? What's wrong with our family eating more delicious food? People should enjoy life. If you don't enjoy it now, you won't be able to enjoy it in a few years. Zhao Wenshui's words meant that he shouldn't bring anything with him when he died. If he had money in his hands, he should enjoy it while it was still early. However, in Hu Chunhua's ears, Zhao Wenshui said that she would die in a few years. Hu Chunhua felt angry when she heard such an unlucky thing. You stinking brat, do you want your mother to die? What good will it do you if I die? You're still thinking about your little sister's betrothal gifts. I saved them so I can do whatever I want with them. It's good enough that I cooked for you and let you eat, but you're still being picky. Do you think I have to feed you for nothing? Don't come to my place to eat tomorrow. If you don't have anything to eat, it has nothing to do with me even if you starve to death. In any case, I won't serve you anymore. Mom, Zhao Wenxue anxiously tried to persuade Hu Chunhua. Mom, this won't do. Where else can I eat besides you? Don't be angry with me. Is that okay? Chapter 1635. Even Zhao Baoshan, who had been silent all this time, said, My son, your mother is right. Don't come here to eat from tomorrow onwards. You can't blame father and mother for not letting you eat. It's just that your second branch has been eating here for a while. If you continue to eat, I think the other branches will be dissatisfied. After all, we are separated from the family. Otherwise, you can bring your family's money and food here to pay for the food. Zhao Wenxue said with a bitter face, Mother, we don't have any food or money. We can't take them out. If you can't take them out, then don't eat. Why do you still want to eat? Mother, seeing that Zhao Wenxue still wanted to make trouble, Zhao Baoshan said with a serious face, That's enough, my son. Don't say any more. If you really can't, bring Jing Er's mother back. You have to live together as a family. You can't always rely on your mother and me. Your mother is old and can't move her legs. It's not easy for her to cook. She has to take care of the food for many of us. She's very tired every day. If it's just me and your mother eating, we can just make do. Your mother won't be so tired. Seeing that Hu Chunhua and Zhao Baoshan were determined, Zhao Wenxue felt a little desperate. Did he really have to bring Li Chuiying back? Zhao Jing tugged at Zhao Wenshue's sleeve and said, Father, let's bring my mother back. I don't know how to cook. We won't have anything to eat tomorrow. Tianyu and I can't starve. Father, I don't want to starve. I miss my mother. Please bring her back. Zhao Tianyu also begged. Although he didn't think that his mother was very good before, after his mother left, when he followed Hu Chunhua to ask for food, Hu Chunhua's attitude towards him was always cold and indifferent. She didn't give in to him at all. With such a comparison, Zhao Tianyu began to miss the time when Li Chuiying was still around. Basically, Li Chuiying would try his best to satisfy whatever he wanted. Second brother, Jing Er's mother has been gone for a while. I guess her anger has subsided. Go and pick her up tomorrow, and she will probably agree to come back with you. After listening to their persuasion, Zhao Wenshue's heart wavered. Although he said that he didn't care if Li Chuiying came back or not, he missed him in his heart. That woman was not good in many ways, but she was still a woman. She could serve him during the day and sleep with him at night. It had been a while since he touched a woman. Zhao Wenxue felt something stirring in the depths of his heart. Suddenly, he missed the taste of a woman, and the thing below him involuntarily hardened. She couldn't wait to push Li Chuiying down on the bed and give him a good beating. Zhao Wenxue swallowed his saliva and said, All right then. Jing, will come with me tomorrow. Let's go to her mother's house and pick her up. With Zhao Wenshue's words, Zhao Jing Er's originally gloomy mood dissipated. She only hoped that Li Chuiying could be brought back tomorrow. She also hoped that her father could change his temper a little and not treat her mother too badly. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be able to be together in the future. Okay, father. Zhao Jing answered. The next morning, Zhao Yun went to the third branch first and asked Liang Jinxiao to take care of Daodu and Tian Tian. She was going to Yang City to buy some vegetables and get someone to send the furniture over. Chapter 1636. Don't worry, Yun'er. I'll take good care of Tian Tian. Okay, then mother, I'm leaving. Zhao Yun, and Mulan went to Yang City together. The two families had finished building the house together. However, Mulan's family hadn't scattered candy yet. Today, they were going to the town to buy candy and some groceries. The family would have a good meal as a celebration. After all, building a new house was a big deal to the villagers. The two of them soon arrived at Yang City. Zhao Yun, and Mulan went to buy some groceries first. They had just set up the stall in the morning, so many of the dishes were still fresh. Zhao Yun'er bought a fish, 2 pounds of meat, a duck, and some vegetables. The duck was an old duck that was several years old, so it was better to stew it in soup. Cold duck soup was the most suitable to drink in this season, as it could cool down one's body heat. As for the other dishes, as long as there was meat, they were considered sumptuous in this era. Compared to Zhao Yun'er, Mulan was much more frugal. She only bought 1 pound of meat and a fish. River prawns and fish in ancient times were cheaper. After all, they didn't have much fat and oil, so the people didn't regret eating them. When they arrived at the market, they coincidentally bumped into the weirdo from Mulan's maiden family. Mulan saw her father, Mulan, and her nanny, old lady Mu, from afar. Beside them was a woman in her 30s. She wasn't very old, probably only 10 years older than Mulan. However, she was chubby and had more pockmarks on her face, which made her look a little disgusting. This chubby woman in her 30s walked together with Mu Dade. The two of them seemed very close, while old lady Mu walked in front. Mulan stared at the three of them and was slightly stunned. She stopped in her tracks. The few of them were not far in front of her. They were buying groceries at the market. When they arrived at the meat stall, they looked around and didn't know whether to buy or not. Old lady Mu was talking to the butcher, probably discussing the price. Seeing that Mulan had stopped, Zhao Yun'er asked Mulan, "Sister-in-law Mulan, what's wrong with you?" Mulan looked a little downcast. She pointed at the 3 people in front of her and said, "Yuna, that's my father and grandmother." Zhao Yun looked in the direction that Mulan was pointing at and frowned slightly. Mu clan? No wonder Mulan was in a bad mood. The people of the Mu family were very strange. They even wanted to sell Mu Hin. They did not treat their daughter as a human being at all. Fortunately, Mu Hin had gotten rid of the Mu family. Otherwise, who knew what would have happened? The Mu family. Even if it was Mulan's maternal family, Mulan did not want to have any dealings with them. Zhao Yun'er pointed at the chubby woman beside Mu Dade and said, "Sister-in-law Mulan, do you think that chubby woman beside your father is your stepmother?" Mu Hin frowned and said, "Yes, she should be. She was so close to her father, so she could only be her stepmother. After all, she was not a relative of the Mu family. Otherwise, Mulan would have recognized her." Zhao Yun'er chuckled and said, "Sister-in-law Mulan, your father's taste is really bad. Although this woman is young, she is fat and ugly. He still wants to sell Mu Hin to earn money to marry her. He must have a hole in his head." Chapter 1637. It was said that parents were selfless and devoted to their children. Even if they suffered, they would not let their children suffer. Mulan's father was a weirdo. He was so selfish that he cheated his own daughter. There was probably not a single family like him in a radius of dozens of miles. The corners of Mulan's mouth twitched, and there was a hint of bitterness in her smile as she said, "Sigh, there's no other way. My father wants a woman to serve him by his side, and my grandmother wants to give my father a son. Naturally, she has to arrange for another woman to marry back. It's fine. Let him marry her. That's his business. You and Sister Mu Hin just have to lead a good life. You don't have to care about the Mu family in the future." Mulan nodded heavily and replied, "Yes, I know. They'll lead their own lives. Mu Hin, and we will lead ours. We won't have anything to do with them in the future. That's right. When your lives get better, they'll regret it." You're right." As the two of them were talking, old lady Mu looked in Mulan's direction. When she saw Mulan, she was slightly taken aback and then poked Mu Dade. Mu Dade also looked in Mulan's direction. There was a strange emotion in his eyes. It seemed to be guilt. "Let's go, yeah." Mulan quickly averted her gaze and turned around, preparing to leave with Zhao Yun'er. She saw that Mulan's expression was not good. It seemed that she did not want to bother with the Mu family, so she pulled her away. Zhao Yun'er could understand Mulan's feelings. There was no need to interact with such a family. Zhao Yun'er replied, "Okay." However, the two of them had only taken a few steps when the Mu family caught up with them. Old lady Mu grabbed Mulan and said, "I say, are you blind or are you doing it on purpose? Don't you know how to greet your father and me? Mulan's eyes darkened. She didn't want to talk to Old Lady Mu. However, Old Lady Mu did not give up. You damned girl, are you mute? Why aren't you saying anything? Don't think that it'll be fine if you don't speak. You are a descendant of the Mu family, so you have to be respectful in front of the elders of the Mu family. What kind of attitude is this? What do you mean? Old Lady Mu pulled Mulan's clothes and scolded her fiercely. Mulan frowned in disgust. Are you done talking? If you're done, then let me go. Zhao Yun watched from the side. She was disgusted by the Mu family. Where did they get the face to be so arrogant in front of Mulan? Hearing Mulan's words, old Madame Mu became even angrier.
What are you talking about?
Now that she's married into her husband's family, her maiden family doesn't recognize her anymore? Mulan felt that Old Lady Mu was somewhat inexplicable. Not only did she run up to her and shout, but she also said such words. What did she mean? She didn't understand at all. Zhao Yun couldn't listen anymore. No wonder the Mu family could sell Mu Hin for money. With this quality, what couldn't they do? Grandma, what do you want me to say? What's there to say? Mulan sighed helplessly and asked Old Lady Mu faintly. I say, girl, your words are really irritating. Is it so difficult to say hello? Old Lady Mu said angrily. Grandma, what's the purpose of saying hello? Is it necessary? You guys just live your lives well. My father has already remarried. I don't want to disturb him, so as to not appear in front of you and annoy you. Chapter 1638. You. Old Lady Mu was so angry that she could not speak. She felt that Mulan's words were treacherous, but she could not refute them. After all, what they did was wrong. The matter of selling their daughter had been talked about in the village for a long time. It was a stain on the Mu family's reputation. However, Old Lady Mu knew that if she did not use this method to earn money, she would not have the capital to marry Mu Dade. At this moment, Mu Dade walked over and tugged at Old Lady Mu. All right, mother, don't be so calculative with law and order. This is not a big deal. Maybe she really didn't see us. Zhao Yun looked up at Mu Dade. She felt that Mu Dade still had some conscience when he said this. Mu Dade looked to be in his 40s. He was very thin and tall, but he was like a bamboo pole. He did not look like a sly person. He was an honest person. This kind of person was probably a mommy's boy. He would do whatever his mommy said. Selling Mu Hin and arranging for him to marry a wife were probably all done by Old Lady Mu. Old Lady Mu was obviously the head of the household and had to listen to her in everything. She was used to being domineering. Hearing Mu Dade's words, Old Lady Mu turned around and glared at Mu Dade. You're still speaking up for this wretched girl? No, you're still denying it. What's so precious about a daughter? How can you use her to protect her? Old Lady Mu muttered. Mu Dade looked at Mulan apologetically and did not continue speaking. Father, grandmother, if there's nothing else, I'll leave first. I still have to go back home to work. Mulan was very annoyed when facing Mu Dade and Old Lady Mu. She did not want to continue being entangled with them. When she went back, she would not have to face Mu Dade and Old Lady Mu. Naturally, she would not be so annoyed. However, Old Lady Mu continued to block Mulan. Why are you in such a hurry to go back? What's the matter? Seeing the vegetables and meat in Mulan's basket, Old Madame Mu's brows knitted together, her expression grave. My granddaughter is rich now. It's not the new year, but she can actually afford to buy meat to eat. Mulan saw that Old Lady Mu was staring at the basket in her hand, so she quickly hid the basket behind her back. She said to Old Lady Mu indifferently, Grandmother, aren't you living a good life too? Weren't you also preparing to buy meat at the meat stall? The corner of Old Lady Mu's mouth twitched. We still can't bear to buy it. Even if we want to buy it, we won't be like you, weighing a caddy all at once. Mulan didn't know what to say when Old Lady Mu came. She just wanted to buy a gene of meat, but in Old Lady Mu's eyes, it was like something shameful. That's enough, mother. You don't have to say any more. I think Lan is just going to buy a meal of meat to eat for the children at home to nourish their bodies. What's there to say? Della pulled old Madame Moo and persuaded her. Old Lady Moo snorted softly. I know. But Dade, I think your eldest daughter is living a good life now and has money in her hands. That's why she can come and buy meat. Back then, she also took out the 5 taels of silver at once. Since she's living a good life, I don't see her buying anything to be filial to you. You raised her in vain. Chapter 1639. After Mu Lan heard Old Lady Moo's words, she could not help but roll her eyes in her heart. She did not know how thick-skinned Old Lady Moo was to say such things. Not to mention selling Moo Hin, now she was even thinking of getting some benefits from her. After she married into her husband's family, she did not see the Moo family helping her even when she was at her most difficult time. It was better not to have this maternal family, unlike other families where the maternal family would protect their married daughters. Forget it, Mother. Lanner's life is not easy. Don't say such things. It's not like we can't live anymore. Why do you want Lanner to spend money to be filial to me? Moo Dade could not help but persuade Old Lady Moo. Selling Moo Hin in exchange for money for him to marry a wife had already caused the villagers to criticize him behind his back. Until now, he could not even lift his head up high. If he let his married daughter buy things to be filial to him, he did not know what the villagers would say about him. Old Lady Moo could put aside her pride, but as a man, how could he bear to be criticized by the villagers? After all, men were prideful, and pride was the most important thing. Old Lady Moo glared at Moo Dade. Who allowed you to speak? Could it be that your mother said something wrong? Can't your daughter be filial to you? How much food did she eat from our Moo family? Did she return it to our family? It was fine if she could not live her life in the past. We did not bicker with her. But look at her now, your daughter can even eat meat, and it's not even during the holidays. This means that she is living a good life. And I heard that her family has built a new house. I did not know whether it was true or not, but now it seems to be true. She can only buy meat when she has money to build a house. Mother, seeing Old Lady Moo's strong attitude, Moo Dade could not speak. He could not help but sigh in his heart, and did not dare to look Mulan in the eye. His mother could say whatever she wanted. In any case, he wasn't going to get involved in this. Zhao Yun watched the scene quietly. Although Moo Dade had some conscience, he was a coward and did not dare to refute Old Lady Moo's words. On the other hand, Old Lady Moo was a weirdo who liked to haggle over every ounce. The main problem was that she was narrow-minded and liked to take advantage of others. Now that they had their eyes on Mulan, it was likely that Mulan would have a hard time in the future. If the Moo family continued to pester him, it would be another troublesome matter. After the house was built, he was prepared to live a peaceful life. Who knew that something like this would happen? Coincidentally, he bumped into the Moo family in Sun City today. Mulan's face looked very ugly. She bit her lower lip and said, "Grandma, don't say such sarcastic words. It's said that a married daughter is like spilled water." I've never seen a woman send things to her maiden home all day long. When the family Zhu married me, they gave me a few taels of silver as a betrothal gift. You guys took all of it, so you didn't raise me for nothing, right? Why should I buy things for my father now? How my family lives is my family's business, and it has nothing to do with you. No matter how good my life is, don't expect to get a single cent from me.
I won't give it to you.
Mulan's words were very strong, and she was determined not to let the Moo family get any benefits. Zhao Yun admired Mulan's attitude. She had to be like this when dealing with weirdos. Otherwise, she would be the one to suffer if she was blamed. Chapter 1640. Old Lady Moo's shouts were very loud. With her shouts, the onlookers gathered around out of curiosity, wanting to hear what was going on. Old Lady Moo dragged the onlookers to talk about Mulan, saying that Mulan was not filial and that she had forgotten about her maternal family after she had a good life. She did not care about her maternal family and did not care about them at all. She did not even care about her own father and had not been filial to him for so many years. When Old Lady Moo saw that there were more onlookers, she became more energetic in her scolding. Lon Lon stood in the middle and received the strange looks and scoldings from the onlookers. Mulan was disgusted by Old Lady Moo's behavior, but she felt helpless. What could she do when she met such a grandmother? Mother, don't say any more. Moo Dade hurriedly tugged at Old Lady Moo and persuaded her. Others might not know, but Moo Dade knew very well that the Moo family was in the wrong in the first place. With so many onlookers, if Mulan said something and others heard it, he would be scolded again. That was why he hurriedly stopped Old Lady Moo, afraid that she would make a bigger fuss. Old Lady Moo gave Moo Dade a push and warned him. I said, you don't have to care about this big matter. Your mother knows it in her heart. Today, I have to tell everyone about Mulan's character and let everyone be the judge. Otherwise, she will say that I'm unreasonable. Moo Dade was helpless. What was the point of being reasonable? They were clearly in the wrong first. If he said that they were unreasonable, he would let them have more. Unfortunately, Old Lady Moo did not admit it and felt that she was reasonable. He could not do anything about it. Old Lady Moo continued to hoot, and Mulan could not take it anymore. She was disgusted to meet such a family member. Originally, she did not want to argue with them, but now it seemed that the result of not arguing with them was to be destroyed by Old Lady Moo. Zhao Yuner poked Mulan and said, I say, sister-in-law Mulan, don't tolerate this kind of situation. Let's expose their true colors. I want to see who the normal people think is unreasonable. Mulan pursed her lips and responded. Now, she could only do as Zhao Yuner said. Otherwise, it would have a bad impact on her reputation. Mulan stood in the middle of the crowd and calmly narrated to the onlookers what Old Lady Moo and the Moo family had done. After listening to Mulan's words, the onlookers finally understood what was going on and began to criticize Old Lady Moo and Moo Dade. Most people had a conscience. Everyone knew in their hearts who was in the wrong first. Regardless of whether a daughter was filial or not, it was not a big deal. After all, a daughter was not like a son. If a daughter was married off, she would belong to someone else's family. A daughter who was married off was like spilled water. How many of them cared about their maternal family? Instead, it was the Moo family who sold their daughter for their own selfish interests. They did not care about their daughter's future and only wanted money. What was going on? No matter how poor the villagers were, they would not end up selling their daughter. Basically, they would live a hard life as much as possible. It was a heartless thing to give up one's daughter for the rest of her life. Oh my God! How can there be such people? They are not poor. Why would they sell their daughter if they can't live a good life? Chapter 1641. Sigh, there are really all kinds of people. It's like a thief calling out to stop a thief. That's right. I don't know where he got the thick skin to sell his daughter. Such a parent is not qualified to be one. Instead, he expects his daughter to be filial to him. Sigh, there's nothing we can do about it. I don't know what's so good about it. If it were me, I wouldn't have the face to say it. In an instant, the onlookers who were scolding Mulan began to scold Old Lady Moo. Although Old Lady Moo was old, she still couldn't stand others scolding her like that. Old Lady Moo was very embarrassed after hearing the words of the surrounding crowd. She could not maintain her composure and glared hatefully at Mulan. This wicked girl really didn't care about her family. She said anything and didn't know how to save some face for her parents and elders. Father, grandmother, you heard what everyone said, right? It's up to people to decide who's right and who's wrong. If you have nothing to do, don't make a scene in front of me. Otherwise, I won't be polite. Old Lady Moo frowned and said angrily, Not polite? How do you want to be rude? Do you want to hit me and your father? Unfilial bastard, I shouldn't have raised you when you were born. I should have just strangled you to death. Old Lady Moo was so angry that she could do anything and say anything in the future. Even if the onlookers scolded her, she still didn't think it was her fault. She thought it was Mulan's fault. Hearing Old Lady Moo's cruel words, the onlookers scolded even more. That's enough, mother. Have you caused enough trouble? Let's go back. There are so many people watching. If the news spreads to the village, we'll be laughed at. Moo Dade couldn't stand it anymore. Old Lady Moo didn't care about what the onlookers said, and didn't care about her face, but he couldn't. No matter what, a man couldn't stand being poked at behind his back. It wasn't the time to make a scene. Why don't you care about what you should care about and meddle in what you shouldn't care about? Old Lady Moo scolded. Mother, what's the point of you making a ruckus like this? Do we still need to buy our things? Do we still need to go back? Otherwise, when it's time, the ox cart back to the village will leave. It won't wait for us. After hearing Moo Dade's words, Old Lady Moo realized that it was getting late. If they continued to wait, they might not make it back in time. Although he was a little unwilling, he couldn't delay the important matter. There were so many roads back to the village. He couldn't possibly walk back, or his legs would break. She didn't mind it, but his new wife couldn't. This woman was very fat. After walking a few steps, she would be tired and out of breath. She definitely couldn't walk that far. She didn't know what to do if she suddenly refused to leave halfway. She was an old woman, and Moo Dade was so thin. He wouldn't have the strength to carry her back, right? So they had to catch up with the ox cart. As for Mulan, the onlookers were speaking up for Mulan. There was no point in dragging it out. It would be best if she went back and found time to go to Mulan's house to make a scene. At the same time, she could see if Mulan had built a new house and what the new house looked like. If she made a scene at Mulan's house, she would be able to get some benefits, right? Chapter 1642. Alright, I got it. I'll settle this account with this wretched girl later. Old Lady Moo muttered, showing a trace of impatience. Seeing that Old Lady Moo had finally relented, Moo Dade heaved a heavy sigh of relief. If they really made a fuss, he didn't know how to deal with it. If he could save trouble now, he would. He estimated that Old Lady Moo would listen to his homework when he went back, and then she wouldn't make a fuss anymore. Seeing that Old Lady Moo wasn't stopping her, Mulan pulled Zhao Yun and left. She felt disgusted if she stayed for another second. She really didn't want to talk to the Moo family, and she didn't want to have anything to do with them. She could only blame her bad luck for running into the Moo family today. After leaving the market, Zhao Yun and Mulan went to the custom-made furniture shop. In the carpentry shop, the custom-made furniture for the two families had already been made, and they were waiting for Zhao Yun and Mulan to come and pick them up. They were all placed in the backyard of the carpentry shop. Zhao Yun paid the rest of the money and went back with Mulan. Zhao Yun didn't have to bring the furniture back herself. She just had to tell the shop owner, and the shop owner would send someone to deliver it on an ox cart. What was Zhao Yun's kung fu? Zhao Yun and Mulan left the address and left. Although they were a little upset to run into the Moo family, when the two talked about the new house, they were very excited and happy. When the two families' houses were built, not only could they move into the new house, they could live more comfortably. Most importantly, after the two families moved into the new house, they could take care of the marriage of Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin. It was best not to delay the marriage of the two children and get it done as soon as possible. This way, the two families could become in-laws, and their current relationship would be even closer. Zhao Yun had already prepared everything, and Mulan had already gone to Yang City in advance to order a few quilts. When Mu Hin got married, they didn't have to worry about this. The rest of the things were taken care of by Zhao Yun. The two of them drove the donkey happily back home. Not long after Zhao Yun and Mulan left, Old Lady Moo turned to Moo Dade and nagged, "Dade, do you think Lan's family is rich?" Moo Dade pursed his lips and met Old Lady Moo's curious eyes. "Mother, it can't be?" Old Lady Moo snorted softly. "I think he's probably struck it rich." Not only was she able to buy meat to eat, but look, the clothes that Lan was wearing were also in good condition. One look and you can tell that they are newly made, and the fabric is not bad. If it were in the past, where would she have the money to buy these? So, I think Lan's family must be rich. Moo Dade pursed his lips and said, "Mother, whether Lan's family is rich or not is her business." "Are we still waiting for something?" Old Lady Moo said with a straight face. "Dade, That's not right. You're wrong. How am I wrong? Although Lawnor is married, she is still a member of the Mu family. She should be filial to you, her father. I think you can always ask Lawnor for something when you have nothing to do. Oh, right. If you can't get anything from your daughter, you can get something from your son-in-law, right? Mu Dade sighed and seemed to be in a difficult position. Chapter 1643. No matter how bad things get, she's still your biological daughter. How can there be overnight animosity between father and daughter?
Sigh.
Mother, Mu Dade lowered his head, not knowing what to say. His mother was a strong-willed person. Once she decided on something, she had to let him do it. If he did not do it, his mother would be angry and find fault with him. That would be very difficult. At this moment, Mu Dade's newly married wife, Luo Tsueyu, swayed her plump body and ran over to Old Lady Mu and Mu Dade. Hearing the conversation between Mu Dade and Old Lady Mu, Luo Tsueyu asked curiously, "Mother, is that Dade's daughter?" Old Lady Mu snorted, "Of course. Haha, she's so pretty and looks good in clothes." Luo Tsueyu was envious. She thought that the material of Mulan's clothes must have cost some money. Women were vain. Luo Tsueyu also hoped that she could be as rich as Mulan and buy a set of clothes made of that kind of material. She would definitely look prettier when she wore it. Haha, that's why I said that girl has struck it rich. Old Lady Mu muttered. Luo Tsueyu's eyes turned. She tugged at Mu Dade's sleeve and said to him, "Husband, I think Mother is right. After all, she's your daughter. You gave birth to her and raised her. That's a great favor. The person who sold her was Mu Hin, not her. If you say that she doesn't want others to be filial, then Mu Hin is unfilial. But you didn't do anything to her. Why shouldn't she be filial to you?" With Luo Tsueyu's reminder, Old Lady Mu immediately thought it through. Yes, Tsueyu, you're smart and quick-witted. No matter what you did previously, that was to Mu Hin. You didn't do anything to her. How can she be unfilial? Luo Tsueyu continued, "No matter what, if we get some money back, our family's life will be better. Mother, I'm pregnant with Dade's child. The fortune teller also said that this child will definitely be a son. So I have to eat well during this period of time to nourish my body. Then I'll give birth to a grandson for our Mu family. You can also leave an heir for Dade." Mu Dade's eyes moved slightly and landed on Luo Tsueyu. He glanced at Luo Tsueyu's stomach. Thinking that it was his son, Mu Dade felt that he should treat Luo Tsueyu well. He should try his best to satisfy whatever Luo Tsueyu wanted to eat. It was only because of the child in Luo Tsueyu's belly that he could not let Luo Chueying suffer. He had been looking forward to having a son for decades. The people in the village liked to laugh at him for not having a son. This was one of the reasons why he could not raise his head. As long as he had a son, others wouldn't laugh at him like that in the future. This was also the reason why he still married Luo Tsueyu at this age. At the end of the day, he could not afford to be without an heir. He could not afford to not have a son. Fortunately, Luo Tsueyu's stomach was not disappointing. Not long after they married, she was pregnant. The fortune teller also said that she was pregnant with a boy. Luo Dade cried tears of joy when he heard the news. So, no matter what Luo Tsueyu wanted, he would try his best to satisfy her. Giving birth to a son for him was already the greatest sacrifice she could make for him. The reason why they came to Yang City today was that Luo Tsueyu said that she was pregnant and was gluttonous. She wanted to eat meat and some snacks. That was why Mu Dade and Old Lady Mu agreed to bring her over to buy. Chapter 1644. After old Madame Mu heard this, she said to Mu Dade, "Dade, your wife is right. Even if you don't think for yourself, you have to think for your wife, right? It wasn't easy for her to bear you a son. You can't treat her unfairly. No matter what, you have to get some money so that you can buy things for your wife to nourish her body. Only then can she give birth to a fat son and give your branch an heir. When you're old, you'll at least have a son to send you off, right? Look at your two good daughters. They're treating you like this now. When you're 100 years old, do you still expect them to send you off?" Mu Dade frowned. He understood what old Madame Mu said, but as a man he was too embarrassed to put down his pride. Luo Tsuyu saw that Mu Dade was conflicted and said sarcastically, "All right, mother, don't say any more. Husband is just worried about his 2 daughters and can't bear to ask for money. If he doesn't want it, then don't. Anyway, I'll suffer a little and eat less. I'm just afraid that my body won't recover well. When my son is born, I don't know if he can survive without milk." When Luo Tsuyu said this, Mu Dade's brows immediately knitted together. Comparing his face, his wife, and the son in his wife's belly, his wife and son were more important. Otherwise, why did he spend so much effort to sell his daughters? Wasn't it just to give birth to a son while he was still fertile? All right. I'll try asking for it later. It'll be best if I can get it. If I can't, then forget it. Luo Tsuyu's face lit up. She smiled and said to Mu Dade, "Dade, you're still the one who cares about me and the child the most." Mu Dade smiled embarrassedly. Looking at Luo Tsuyu's face, which was piled up because of her smile, he felt uncomfortable. If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't have much money and was too old to marry a good wife, he would never be willing to be with such a woman like Luo Tsuyu. Compared to Mu Lan and Mu Hin's mother, this Luo Tsuyu's appearance and figure were much worse. No man would be interested in her. But he had no choice. In order to give birth to a son, Luo Tsuyu could give birth to a son for him. Why would he think so much about other things? That's more like it. Seeing that Mu Dade had relented and was willing to go over, old lady Mu was very satisfied. As long as he was willing to go over, it would be a success. She continued to persuade him, and Mu Dade would naturally understand. "Mother, are we still going to buy meat now?" Luo Tsuyu looked at old lady Mu and asked. If he didn't buy it now, the fresh meat at the meat stall would be gone. Old lady Mu nodded her head heavily and replied, "Buy.
Of course I'll buy.
I promised you that I would come and buy, so I have to weigh some back." Luo Tsuyu answered happily, "Okay, mother, let's go." Yes. When they arrived at the meat stall, old lady Mu continued to bargain with the owner of the meat stall. At this time, most of the people have gone back. I don't think we can sell much meat. If you have too much meat left, it's easy for it to go bad in this season. If you sell it tomorrow, it won't be worth much. Why don't you sell it to me at a lower price? Chapter 1645. Old lady Mu rolled her eyes and thought for a while. A copper coin discount seemed a bit too little. The boss said with a straight face, "I say, Granny, if you don't want to buy it, then leave quickly. 1 copper coin is already the biggest concession I can make. I'm just a small business, and I can't make much money. If I give you too much of a discount, how am I going to make money?" Old lady Mu hurriedly responded, Okay. You said a copper coin discount. Okay. The shopkeeper responded, "Then give me half a jean. Half a jean is 6 copper coins and a half. Forget about the half. I'll give you 6 copper coins." Old lady Mu said, her eyes shining. Hearing old lady Mu's words, the butcher's mouth twitched, and he glared at old lady Mu fiercely. How could this old woman be so cheap? He said that a caddy of meat would be cheaper by 1 copper coin. She still wanted to weigh half a caddy of meat, and even cheaper by half a copper coin. How could there be such a person? How could there be such logic? Seeing that old lady Mu was not sincere in buying the meat and had been bargaining for a long time, the butcher waved his hand at old lady Mu and said, Go. If you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it. I'll give you a copper coin discount for a jean of meat, but half a jean of meat is not a copper coin discount. If you want to buy it, then buy it. If you don't want to buy it, then forget it. Old lady Mu's face darkened and looked a little embarrassed. Luo Tsuyu was anxious. If this went on, how could she buy meat for her to eat? What if she didn't even weigh the meat when she went back after making a trip today? Then wouldn't her wish, today, be in vain? Mother, the shopkeeper's price is generous enough. Let's just buy a jean of meat. If we continue to bargain, he won't sell it to us. Old lady Mu frowned and thought for a while. She gritted her teeth and said, Okay, then weigh a jean of meat. Originally, Old Lady Mu planned to weigh half a gene of meat for Luo Tsueyu to eat alone. Now she thought that if she weighed another half a gene, the whole family could eat it. Otherwise, the family would definitely be greedy when they saw Luo Tsueyu eating alone. Okay, shopkeeper, weigh a gene of meat for me. The boss nodded reluctantly. However, he thought that if he could sell as much as he could, it would be better than not being able to sell it and waiting for the price to drop the next day. So he weighed 1 catty for Old Lady Mu and took the 13 copper coins from her. At the same time, something unusual was happening in Old Zhao's house. Liang Jinxiao took Tian and Daodu to Zhao Yun'er's new house to play. Zhao Ping also followed. The reason why Zhao Ping didn't go back to her in-laws' house early in the morning was because she hadn't eaten the rooster. She still couldn't let it go. Secondly, she thought that Zhao Yun'er would definitely have a lot of delicious food at the Chicken Gate banquet today. Even if she wanted to go back to her in-laws' house, she would have to wait for the banquet at noon before going back. Wouldn't it be a waste to have an extra meal? Zhao Ping said that she would leave after eating the banquet. Liang Jinxiao thought that Zhao Ping wouldn't be bothered about eating the rooster, so he agreed. If Zhao Ping still didn't leave after eating, it wouldn't be too late for him to chase her away. There were still many people who came to Zhao Yun'er's new house to play. Some of them couldn't help but want to experience the feeling of living in a big house. They were waiting for Zhao Yun'er's family to move in, so they would feel embarrassed to come over and join in the fun. After all, the owner was here, so they couldn't disturb her. Chapter 1646. However, the moment of danger arrived. Suddenly, she heard the villagers' screams.
Ah!
Save me! Save me! The tiger is coming down from the mountain.
Ah!
It's really a tiger. Oh my God! Why is there a tiger in broad daylight? And it's a big white tiger. This tiger is so big, isn't it mighty? What should we do? Run, run. If we don't run, we'll lose our lives. It's coming, it's coming. What should we do? Do you think we can escape? In an instant, the villagers who came to Zhao Yun'er's new house to join in the fun began to panic. Their screams echoed throughout the courtyard. Liang Jinxiao was shocked when she heard that a tiger was coming. However, when she came to her senses, she saw that it was indeed as the villagers said. A big white tiger was gradually approaching their courtyard. This tiger was bigger than the one that Zhao Yun'er brought back from the mountain last time. The villagers all knew that tigers were mighty. Basically, if they encountered a tiger, they would lose their lives. Now that the tiger was coming, they were in great danger. If they did not escape in time, they might become ghosts under the tiger's jaws. Their bodies would be torn apart and then eaten by the tiger. Roar! The tiger's loud roar was deafening. The roar was so loud that it covered people's hearts with a layer of meaning. Daodu was so scared that he cried and hid behind Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao quickly patted Daodu's back and comforted Daodu. Daodu, don't be afraid. Grandma is here. Grandma will protect Daodu. Although she said that, Liang Jinxiao was also scared out of her wits. Her voice trembled a little. Encountering such a big tiger, she was just a woman with nothing in her hands. How could she protect Daodu and herself? The only thing she was worried about now was that the tiger would attack Daodu and Tian. If something really happened to her, it would be fine. The most important thing was the 2 children. She could not let anything happen to the 2 children. Liang Jinxiao carried Tian and protected Daodu at the same time. Her brows were tightly knitted together. Faced with the situation in front of her, she really didn't know what to do. What she didn't understand was how a tiger came out of nowhere and ran into her courtyard. Could it be that her family was too unlucky? Why didn't other people encounter it? As the white tiger approached, Liang Jinxiao could not help but step back. He didn't dare to run away now. If he alarmed the tiger and it pounced on him, he would die even faster. Liang Jinxiao's heart grew colder as he watched Tiger's footsteps step by step. What should I do now? Who could save her? Who could save the 2 children? White Tiger glanced at the people in the courtyard. There were a few villagers, Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Ping, All of them were trembling in fear as they stared at White Tiger in horror. Some of the more timid villagers directly fell to the ground and wet their pants. Their legs couldn't help but tremble. In the face of a ferocious animal, these people were too weak and didn't have the slightest ability to resist. I don't want to die. Zhao Ping couldn't help but cry. She was very regretful now. If she had known that this would happen, she wouldn't have stayed for Zhao Yun's wedding banquet because she was greedy. If she had returned to her in-laws' house earlier, she wouldn't have come here to join in the fun, and she wouldn't have encountered this situation. What was the point of eating something delicious when she was risking her life? Chapter 1647. Because Zhao Ping was crying and talking, the White Tiger's eyes were fixed on Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping's heart suddenly tightened, and her legs trembled even more. Could it be that this tiger wanted to eat her? If only she hadn't made a sound just now, she would have attracted the White Tiger's attention. Otherwise, the people in the courtyard might not necessarily eat her. Roar! The White Tiger bared its fangs and roared at Zhao Ping again. Zhao Ping was so frightened that she fell to the ground and almost peed her pants. What should she do? What should she do? Was she going to die now? She didn't want to die. Could the heavens come and save her? Why was she so miserable? Liang Jinxiao saw that the White Tiger's target was Zhao Ping, and her heart tightened. No matter what, Zhao Ping was her daughter. If she was eaten by the tiger, as a mother, she would definitely feel terrible. Moreover, Zhao Ping was still so young. Was she going to die before her own daughter? The other villagers saw that Zhao Ping had attracted the White Tiger's attention and were slightly relieved. The tiger's stomach was definitely not that big. It should be full after eating one person. If it ate Zhao Ping, nothing would happen to the others. The White Tiger slowly moved towards Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping was suddenly scared out of her wits. She sat there helplessly, not knowing what to do. Liang Jinxiao was so anxious that she stomped her feet and hurriedly said to Zhao Ping, Ping, why are you in a daze? Hurry up and run. Zhao Ping only came back to her senses when Liang Jinxiao shouted at her. She trembled as she got up from the ground and hurriedly ran in the direction of Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao's heart suddenly jumped. This wretched girl. Why did she run towards her? She didn't know where she ran to. She didn't know what to do now. What if Zhao Ping ran to her and got her into trouble? It was a small matter if she was alone, but there were 2 children. It was inconvenient to run with 2 children. Wouldn't it put the 2 children in danger? The White Tiger's gaze was still following Zhao Ping. When Zhao Ping rushed to Liang Jinxiao, it also rushed towards Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao suddenly panicked. This White Tiger was very dangerous. What should she do now? Mother, I'm scared. As Zhao Ping said, she hid behind Liang Jinxiao and pushed Liang Jinxiao forward. So Liang Jinxiao suddenly bumped into the White Tiger. Liang Jinxiao looked at the White Tiger, which was close at hand, and her face turned pale with fright. What made her the most unhappy was that Zhao Ping actually pushed her out. At such a dangerous moment, Zhao Ping was too selfish. She only cared about herself and never thought of others. Even her mother was not worth mentioning in Zhao Ping's eyes. In the face of danger, she chose herself and didn't care about her anger. Liang Jinxiao thought that she had been so good to Zhao Ping before, but Zhao Ping treated her like this. She suddenly regretted it. If she had known that Zhao Ping was so heartless, she would have broken up with Zhao Ping as soon as possible and never continued to contact Zhao Ping. Unfortunately, it was too late to regret now. Now she might become the White Tiger's food. Chapter 1648. However, the White Tiger did not immediately pounce on Liang Jinxiao. Instead, it paused in front of Liang Jinxiao for a few seconds and stared at Tian, who was in Liang Jinxiao's arms. Liang Jinxiao thought that the White Tiger was after Tian. Her heart suddenly tightened, and she held Tian tightly in her arms. Even if she died, she did not want anything to happen to Tian. The white tiger must not stare at Tian. Such a small child, so tender and cute, had not even grown up yet. It would be a pity if she was eaten by the white tiger. Liang Jinxiao's forehead could not stop sweating, but she did not dare to act rashly. She was afraid that if she moved, the white tiger might come forward and hurt her or Tian. The white tiger circled Liang Jinxiao a few times, but it did not intend to eat Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao did not know the white tiger's intentions. She only felt that it was very scary. What should she do if this went on? She could not continue to stand like this and let the white tiger circle around her, right? Zhao Ping saw that the white tiger was finally not staring at her. The stone in her heart was put down, and she felt that she had been reborn and saved. As for Liang Jinxiao, although she was a little worried, she did not feel guilty about her actions. Zhao Ping whispered to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, just give the baby to the tiger. Let it eat her, and you'll be fine." Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Ping in disappointment. She did not know how Zhao Ping had the nerve to say such a thing. How did she give birth to a bastard like Zhao Ping as a daughter? Now that she finally saw Zhao Ping's true colors, she should not pay attention to such a bastard, let alone feel sorry for her. Even if Zhao Ping had become the white tiger's food, she should not care. You beast, shut up!" Liang Jinxiao scolded. Zhao Ping pursed her lips and said, "Mother, I'm just concerned about you. She's just an irrelevant little bastard. Why do you care if she lives or dies? Keeping your own life is the most important thing." Liang Jinxiao almost fainted from anger at Zhao Ping. She actually had the nerve to say such things. He said it was for her own good. If he really cared about her, he shouldn't have pushed her out just now. Since she had done such a thing, it meant that she didn't care about her mother at all. You don't have to be so hypocritical. Liang Jinxiao suppressed the anger in her heart and replied. If she was lucky enough to survive this time, she would never acknowledge this daughter of hers in the future. Her life or death had nothing to do with her. Roar! The white tiger roared again, as if it was angry. Liang Jinxiao closed her eyes in despair. She reckoned that she and Tian would be eaten by the white tiger together. To Liang Jinxiao's surprise, Tian was suddenly taken away from her hand. Liang Jinxiao opened her eyes abruptly and saw the white tiger holding Tian in its mouth. Liang Jinxiao immediately reached out to snatch Tian back. However, to Liang Jinxiao's disappointment, the white tiger turned around and ran away with Tian in its mouth. Tian! Liang Jinxiao exclaimed in shock. This tiger was really going to attack Tian. What should she do now? If Tian was taken away by the tiger, it meant that she was going to be eaten by the tiger. Tian had met with mishap in her hands, and it was her fault for not protecting her well. If such a tragic outcome really happened, she would feel guilty for the rest of her life and would feel that she owed this child. Chapter 1649. When the villagers saw the white tiger running away, they knew that they were out of danger. As long as they were not the ones who died, they felt very lucky. Although it took away a child, the child was not theirs. They would not be too concerned about things that did not concern them. Liang Jinxiao was a woman. How could she catch up with a white tiger? She said to the villagers in the courtyard, "Can everyone help? Help me chase after the white tiger. My little niece has been taken away by the white tiger. If we don't catch up, she will definitely be eaten by the white tiger. What should we do?" Liang Jinxiao spoke very anxiously, and her voice sounded like she was about to cry. The villagers did not dare to chase after the white tiger. It was already very lucky that the white tiger could leave. Otherwise, who knew if the white tiger would come back to eat them after eating the baby? Sister Liang, I can understand how you feel, but you have to know that the white tiger is very powerful. Who among us can deal with it? It's better not to chase after it. If we do, we will lose our lives in vain. That's right, Sister Liang. It's better not to chase after it. The child has a hard life. This is her fate. We can't win against the white tiger. We can only accept our fate. Now, even if we have the tools, we can't snatch Tian back from the white tiger. Isn't snatching something from the white tiger equivalent to courting death? These people were all persuading Liang Jinxiao not to throw her life away. They could not sacrifice themselves to help Liang Jinxiao snatch the child back. Liang Jinxiao's heart sank. Were they really going to let Tian be eaten by the white tiger? Such a young child, she was abandoned by her biological parents when she was born. How many days had she lived until now? She was a fresh and cute life. Why did God treat her like that? She was just a child. How big of a mistake could she have made? How could she end up like this? The more she thought about this, the more Liang Jinxiao's tears flowed uncontrollably. Zhao Ping glanced at Liang Jinxiao. She really did not understand why Liang Jinxiao was crying. Tian was not her biological granddaughter. It was not a big deal. If she was eaten, so be it. Could it be that when someone else's family died, her mother had to run over to mourn for them? Zhao Ping knew that Liang Jinxiao was angry with her, so she pursed her lips and held back her words. When White Tiger rushed out of Zhao Yun'er's courtyard, Little Black suddenly rushed out and blocked White Tiger's path. It roared at White Tiger fiercely. Woof woof woof, woof woof woof. Little Black seemed to be telling White Tiger to quickly put Tian down. However, the White Tiger only looked at Blackie with contempt and didn't care about it at all. Blackie was afraid of the White Tiger, but when it saw the little master that the White Tiger was talking about, it had to protect the little master no matter what. Woof woof woof, woof woof woof. White Tiger ignored Little Black and prepared to take a detour. However, Little Black suddenly ran towards White Tiger and prepared to snatch the person from White Tiger. Unfortunately, Little Black was not as big as the White Tiger. After it rushed up, it was knocked away by the White Tiger and fell to the ground, unable to get up. This time it was a little painful. In addition, the injury from last time had not completely healed. Little Black was in so much pain that its legs were trembling. White Tiger immediately ran away. Its speed was very fast, like a gust of wind. Little Black barked a few more times behind White Tiger. Seeing that the situation was not right, it endured the pain and quickly chased after White Tiger. For a moment, Zhao Yun'er's courtyard fell into silence. Chapter 1650. Daodu was scared out of his wits. Although he was not the one who was eaten, he was still traumatized by the experience. She was a child after all. Even the adults were scared, so how could a child bear it? Daodu walked to Liang Jinxiao in tears and tugged at Liang Jinxiao's sleeve. Grandma, little sister was taken away by the tiger. What should we do? Can we save little sister? Will little sister come back? Liang Jinxiao wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes and patted Daodu's head. All right, Daodu, don't cry. Grandma doesn't know what to do now. Let's wait for your mother to come back. When your mother comes back, we'll slowly think of a way to save Tian. Of course, she was just comforting Daodu. Liang Jinxiao knew very well that the chances of the child being taken away by the White Tiger were very small. How could they save her? When Zhao Yun'er found her, there might only be a pile of bones left, or even bones. Tian, this child, was too pitiful. Whoa! Daodu couldn't help but cry. When he thought that Tian might be in danger, Daodu felt very sad. In fact, he had never felt so sad before. Several villagers who had experienced this incident were still in shock. This kind of experience of life and death made them feel scared. Several people left Zhao Yun'er's courtyard one after another. In a short time, the news of the White Tiger coming down the mountain and taking away the child spread throughout the village. Because of this incident, the village fell into panic. Since the White Tiger could come down the mountain the first time, there would be a second time and a third time. This time, it was Tian who was taken away. Who could guarantee that it would not be their child next time? Therefore, all the villagers warned their children to be careful and not to run out to play. Otherwise, they might be eaten by the White Tiger. The children who liked to play around, under the threat and discipline of their parents, all hid in their own houses and did not dare to take half a step out. Liang Jinxiao could not come back to his senses for a long time. He was so anxious that he stamped his feet and hurriedly sent someone to inform Mu Lianfeng. Zhao Ping didn't dare to stay in Shuilan village any longer. She didn't take advantage of Zhao Yun'er's wedding banquet, so she quickly packed her luggage and rushed to her mother-in-law's house. Right now, whatever delicacies were placed in front of her was not as important as her own life. Without life, one would not be able to enjoy any blessings. When Mu Lianfeng heard the news and rushed back to the village, Zhao Yun and Mulan had just returned from Yang City. The smile on Zhao Yun'er's face suddenly stiffened when she heard that Tian had been taken away by a tiger. She asked in disbelief, "Mother, what did you say? Tian was taken away by the white tiger?" Liang Jinxiao cried and nodded. "Yes, Yun'er, it's all my fault. I'm your mother. I didn't protect Tian well and let her be taken away by the tiger." Zhao Yun'er comforted Liang Jinxiao. "Mother, don't blame yourself. What's the use of protecting Tian when she encountered a white tiger? You don't have the ability to protect her at all. Now is not the time for us to be sad. We have to think of what to do." Zhao Yun'er frowned and thought for a moment. The white tiger that Liang Jinxiao was talking about was probably the one that she and Mu Lianfeng had met on the mountain. If the white tiger ate humans, the child would definitely eat them too. The reason why it held Tian in its mouth was probably because the baby's sweet smell attracted the white tiger. Chapter 1651. Zhao Yun was now worried about two problems. First, the baby had been taken away. She was afraid that the white tiger had eaten her. This beast was very wild. Naturally, it would not keep its prey for too long. Second, the mountain forest was so big. It would not be easy to find Tian. If they were unlucky, they would not be able to find her even after a few days and nights. At that time, even if she was not eaten by the white tiger, such a small baby would starve to death if she did not eat for a few days. The more she thought about it, the more upset Zhao Yun'er became. Thinking about Tian's cute little face, it was really sad that such a small child encountered such a thing. Zhao Yun comforted her, but Liang Jinxiao still felt guilty. Sigh. Liang Jinxiao sighed heavily, her face full of worry. Zhao Yun knew that Liang Jinxiao was still upset. If they did not find Tian, Liang Jinxiao would blame it on her. "Okay, Mother, don't sigh. Now is not the time to sigh. We have to think of a way quickly. Finding Tian is the most important thing." Liang Jinxiao nodded heavily. Yes. Yun'er, you're right. The most important thing now is to find Tian. Yun'er, let's go up the mountain together to look for her, okay? Zhao Yun thought that Liang Jinxiao was probably confused by her anxiety. She actually wanted to go up the mountain personally. It was dangerous on the mountain, especially when they went deeper. The periphery was fine, but the deeper they went, the more beasts they would encounter. Who knew if they would encounter danger? She was nimble and ran fast. She might be able to avoid them, but Liang Jinxiao could not. Liang Jinxiao was pregnant now. How could she withstand the torment? Zhao Yun'er then said to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, just stay at home and take good care of Daodu. Mu Lianfeng and I will go up the mountain to look for him." "Yun'er, but I'm worried. I can't sit still at home," Liang Jinxiao said with a frown. Zhao Yun'er sighed softly. "Mother, you won't be of much help even if you go up. If anything happens, Mu Lianfeng and I will still have to take care of you." The meaning of Zhao Yun'er's words was self-evident, that Liang Jinxiao was a burden to her. Liang Jinxiao lowered his head. After a moment of silence, he finally nodded in agreement. "All right, Yun'er, go ahead. Do you want your father and the others to go as well? The more the merrier." Zhao Yun'er shook her head. "Mother, there's no need. It's too dangerous on the mountain. Father doesn't need to come with us."
Sigh.
"All right then. Then, be careful." "Got it, Mother." Zhao Yun'er and Mu Lianfeng hurriedly packed up and brought along some self-defense tools. The two of them then headed up the mountain. Just as they reached the foot of the mountain, they saw Little Black limping down the mountain. Little Black had suffered such a serious injury last time and hadn't recovered yet. It seemed that he was injured again this time. Zhao Yun'er looked at Little Black with a trace of heartache in her eyes. "Little Black, how are you? Are you all right?" Zhao Yun'er asked gently. "Woof woof woof," Little Black barked a few times at Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er saw how anxious Little Black was and knew that something was wrong. She asked, "Little Black, what's wrong?" "Woof woof woof," Little Black barked again and hurriedly ran up the mountain. Zhao Yun'er seemed to have sensed something and hurriedly said, "Mu Lianfeng, hurry up and follow Little Black. Little Black should know where Tian is." Chapter 1652. The two of them followed behind Little Hay and walked into the forest. After walking for about half an hour, Little Hay suddenly stopped. His black eyes turned, and he licked Zhao Yun'er's fingers. Zhao Yun'er understood what Little Hay meant. Little Hay wanted to say that Tian and the white tiger were here. Zhao Yun'er squatted down and patted Little Hay's head. She said to Little Hay, "Little Hay is awesome. You actually found us. I'll reward you with a drumstick later." Little Hay wagged his tail and continued to lick Zhao Yun'er's palm. Mu Lianfeng's brows became more serious. There was a cave in front of where the two of them were now. It should be the white tiger's nest. However, although they knew that Tian was here, the two of them did not dare to act rashly. The white tiger was too dangerous. The two of them were not able to deal with it at all. The first time Mu Lianfeng killed a tiger, it was because that tiger was not as powerful as this white tiger. Under special circumstances, he was lucky enough to kill it. But against this white tiger, Mu Lianfeng did not have much confidence. Mu Lianfeng had already suffered under the white tiger's claws last time. This time, no matter what, he could not act rashly. Otherwise, not only would he not be able to save Tian, he would also lose his life. Zhao Yun'er's brows knitted together. She did not know what to do. Could it be that they had to wait here for an opportunity? Zhao Yun'er looked at Mu Lianfeng, wondering if Mu Lianfeng had a way to save Tian. "Yun'er, let's not act rashly. Right now, we are in the tiger's mouth. Who knows if there are other tigers inside? If there is more than one white tiger, then we will be in trouble." Zhao Yun'er felt that Mu Lianfeng's words were very reasonable. Who knew how many tigers were in this tiger's nest? If they were unlucky and met a few more, then she and Mu Lianfeng would become the white tiger's prey. Right now, they could only use their wits. They could not act rashly and lose 2 lives for nothing. "Okay, let's go to the tree and wait first,"
Zhao Yun'er said.
Yes. Mu Lianfeng nodded in response. Before going up the tree, Zhao Yun'er patted Little Hay's head and said, "Little Hay, find a place to hide. Don't come out if there's nothing, okay?" Little Hay wagged its tail to show that it understood. Then, it turned around and found a bush to hide in. Little Hay couldn't be seen in the bush. Zhao Yun'er and Mu Lianfeng went up the tree one after another and waited. Although they were very anxious, at this moment, they can't wait. After waiting for 2 hours, there was no movement in the tiger's den. Zhao Yun'er couldn't sit still, now. Were they really going to continue waiting like this? Out. Let me think. Mu Lianfeng pondered for a moment and said, "Why don't I lure it out? That's too dangerous." Zhao Yun'er hurriedly shook her head. She felt that this method was not advisable. If I don't lure it out, I don't know when the white tiger will come out. Even if Tian is not eaten, she will be hungry. Mu Lianfeng thought of Tian, and the worry in his heart was no less than Zhao Yun'er. Although Tian was not his biological daughter, after this period of time, Mu Lianfeng had already treated Tian as his own daughter. Zhao Yun'er felt that the current situation was difficult to get off. No matter which choice she made, she would be worried. Chapter 1653. Little Hei's barking helped Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng lure the white tiger out. This way, Mu Lianfeng and Zhao Yun had a chance to go into the cave and take a look. After Little Hei barked a few times, they heard a deafening tiger roar coming from the cave entrance. Roar! Just hearing this voice was enough to scare people. Thinking of how powerful the white tiger was, the two of them did not have much strength and could not easily provoke it. After a while, they saw a white tiger coming out of the cave entrance. It was the one Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng saw last time. The white tiger came out of the cave entrance and glanced at Little Hei. Zhao Yun's heart suddenly tightened. Little Hei would not be in any danger, right? After all, Little Hei was just a dog. How could it fight against a white tiger? Zhao Yun wanted to shout, "Little Hei, run!" But she was afraid that the white tiger would notice if she shouted. Not only did the plan to lure the tiger away from the mountain fail, but it also failed to save Tian and implicated her. Fortunately, Little Hei seemed to have heard the words in Zhao Yun's heart and quickly ran away. The white tiger chased after Little Hei. Although she did not know if the white tiger would catch up with Little Hei or if Little Hei would be in danger, Zhao Yun did not want to care about it. Little Hei was so smart and was not an ordinary dog. It should be able to deal with it cleverly. Now, it was better for her and Mu Lianfeng to quickly go into the cave to check out the situation. After Little Hei barked, only one white tiger came out of the cave. There should not be other tigers, or else they would have come out together. At this time, the cry of a baby came from the cave entrance, but it quickly disappeared. Zhao Yun's heart skipped a beat. This cry was Tian's. Since Tian cried just now, it meant that Tian was fine. It was already a miracle that she was not eaten by the white tiger. Mu Lianfeng, let's go into the cave quickly. Mu Lianfeng responded loudly. The two of them came down from the tree together and ran in the direction of the cave entrance. The cave was not very big, and they walked in after a while. However, what surprised Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng was that there was a white tiger lying inside. This white tiger was slightly smaller than the previous one, but it was still very strong. The two tigers stayed in the cave. One was a male, and the other was a female. The one that chased after Little Hei was a male tiger was a female this time. The one in the cave was a female. The most surprising thing was that the white tiger didn't seem to have any intention of hurting Tian. Instead, it let Tian lie on its chest. Tian guessed that she was hungry. She held white tiger's breast with her small hands and sucked on it with a smack-smack sound. The white tiger looked at Tian as if it was looking at its own child. But when Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng rushed in, the white tiger's eyes suddenly became very tired. When it looked at Mu Lianfeng and Zhao Yun, the two of them felt a chill in their hearts. The two of them were stunned. The white tiger could pounce on them at any time. They did not dare to move half a step. The current situation made them even more anxious. They had already come in, but who knew that there would be a white tiger? However, the white tiger was not easy to deal with. It was hostile to the two of them. As long as they took a step forward, it could get up at any time and pounce on them. What should we do? Zhao Yun asked in a low voice in Mu Lianfeng's ear. Directly snatch it? It seemed impossible. Whether they could deal with this white tiger, Zhao Yun knew her own limits. Mu Lianfeng did not answer. He also did not know. Chapter 1654. For example, when the tigress had her own cub, it was like this. Right now, this tigress treated Tian as its own child. Not only did it not eat Tian, but it also had to feed Tian. If they were to snatch Tian away now, to the tigress, it would be the same as snatching away its child. It would never allow it. If they were to forcefully snatch Tian away, they would be the ones to get hurt and suffer losses. They were afraid of angering the tigress. Originally, the tigress did not intend to hurt Tian, but in the end, it changed its mind and ate Tian. If that happened, it would be too late to regret it. If Tian was not lying on the tigress' chest and drinking milk, the tigress would probably have gotten up from the ground and attacked them. Seeing that Zhao Yun, and Mu Lianfeng had not left, the tigress raised its fangs, as if threatening Zhao Yun, and Mu Lianfeng to quickly get out of the cave. If they did not leave, it would not be polite. Zhao Yun, and Mu Lianfeng looked at each other. At this moment, there was movement outside the cave. It seemed that the tigress was coming back. Yun, let's hurry up and leave first. It should be fine tomorrow. We'll find a chance to come again next time. In order to comfort the two of them, Mu Lianfeng pulled Zhao Yun's hand, and the two of them hurriedly retreated from the cave. Sure enough, not long after the two of them came out, they saw the tigress return and enter the cave. They did not retreat in time. They were afraid that if they bumped into the white tiger, the situation would be very bad. Yun, the plan to lure the tiger away from the mountain can be used once, but it won't work a second time. Although it's a tiger and not a human, it's not too stupid. It's completely useless for us to waste time here now. Then what should we do? Tian, are we not going to save her? Mu Lianfeng sighed and said, I want to save her too, but it's not something that can be done just because I want to. This white tiger has gone back. How can we deal with two tigers? Why don't we go back now and think of a way? Tian won't be in any danger at this time. That tiger should treat Tian as its own child. Zhao Yun thought for a while and had no choice but to follow Mu Lianfeng's arrangement. There were only two of them. They were too weak to save Tian. It was better to go back and think of a way. All right, then let's go back. Yes. The two of them quietly walked around the entrance of the cave and headed down the mountain. Not long after, they bumped into Little Black. Just now, after Little Black lured the white tiger away, it hurriedly hid, so it was not caught by the white tiger. If it wasn't for the fact that there was another tigress in the cave, Tian would have already been rescued. However, because Little Hay had been running too vigorously and his previous wound had not healed, his leg was injured, and his wound was torn a little. Seeing Little Hay like this, Zhao Yun felt very distressed. She quickly carried Little Hay up and didn't let Little Hay continue to walk. When he returned, he still had to treat Little Black's wounds and bandage it with herbs. He didn't want Little Black to jump around for the next few days. He had to recuperate properly, otherwise, Little Black would be in danger. Sometimes, an animal's life was much more fragile than a human's. After it was injured, it had to be taken good care of. Yun, let me carry him. Mu Lianfeng reached out and took Little Hay from Zhao Yun's hands. Now that Little Hay had grown up a little, it weighed more than 10 to 20 catties. It was indeed very heavy in her hands. After Mu Lianfeng took it, Zhao Yun's hands suddenly became lighter. The two of them continued to walk down the mountain. The two of them walked tiredly for half an hour and finally walked down the mountain and returned to the village. Chapter 1655. Heir Presumptive Yun, why are you back so soon? How did it go? Did you find Tian? Is she all right? Liang Jinxiao asked anxiously. Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng both frowned. Seeing that the two of them did not return with the child, Liang Jinxiao thought that Tian had been eaten by the white tiger. He immediately burst into tears, and tears flowed out uncontrollably. Seeing that Liang Jinxiao was in tears, Zhao Yun hurriedly said, Mother, although we couldn't save Tian, she's fine now. Liang Jinxiao did not understand Zhao Yun's words. How could she be fine if they couldn't save her? The tiger was very ferocious. Wouldn't it eat Tian? Zhao Yun comforted Liang Jinxiao with a few words and told him about the situation that she and Mu Lianfeng encountered when they were looking for Tian. After hearing Zhao Yun's account, Liang Jinxiao opened his mouth in shock. He had lived for decades, but this was the first time he had heard of such a situation. The tiger took the child away, but not only did it not eat it, it even fed the child milk. Did this mean that Tian was really fine? The tears that had been flowing uncontrollably finally stopped. Zhao Yun tugged at Liang Jinxiao's hand and said, All right, mother, don't cry. Let's slowly think of a way. Sigh, all right, that's all we can do now. As long as the child is fine, we have a chance to save her. Yes, yes. Zhao Yun'er nodded. It was already past lunchtime. Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua were anxiously waiting at home and were not in the mood to eat. Zhao Yun'er and Mu Lianfeng were a little hungry after going up and down the mountain. Zhao Yun'er said, "Mother, let's think of another way. Let's hurry up and prepare something to eat. Everyone hasn't eaten lunch yet. You must be hungry, right? All right, Mother will prepare it."
All right.
Mother, just make something simple. All right, then let's make a few bowls of noodles. It's more convenient that way. All right, Liang Jinxiao responded and turned to go into the kitchen. They made do with some vegetarian noodles for lunch, but it was not too shabby. Liang Jinxiao took a few eggs out of the chicken coop. Since they had a few chickens, they receive a few eggs, enough for their family. Normally, the people in the countryside wouldn't eat the eggs laid by other people's chickens. Instead, they would save the eggs to exchange for money or use the eggs to exchange for other daily necessities. Now that the third branch's life was getting better and better, Liang Jinxiao didn't think about being thrifty in this aspect. Basically, the eggs that the chickens laid were eaten to nourish the children's bodies. Frying. After Liang Jinxiao fried an egg for each of them, he added some lard and half a pot of water. He started to heat it up and then sprinkled a few handfuls of noodles into it. He estimated that the noodles would be enough for a family. In a few minutes, the noodles were ready. He sprinkled some chopped green onions into the noodles when he took them out of the pot. It was not as fragrant as meat, but the noodles were not bad, especially the fragrance of the chopped green onions. It felt like they could smell it from afar. He added a few fried eggs and cooked them together. It was just right to increase the freshness of the noodles. It did not take long to cook. To the country people, it was already a delicacy. Liang Jinxiao scooped a bowl of noodles for each of them and called for them to eat. Chapter 1656. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly stopped Zhao Yun'er. "Yun'er, eat slowly. Don't eat in such a hurry, or you'll burn your throat. The noodles are very hot. You should blow on the noodles to cool them down before eating." Zhao Yun'er nodded in embarrassment. She was too impatient, like a child. People had to feel comfortable when they were full. Otherwise, it would be too uncomfortable when they were hungry. Mu Lianfeng held the noodles in his hands and stood in the courtyard, slowly eating them. The strong fragrance of the noodles spread throughout old Zhao's courtyard. Feng Zhongxia smelled the fragrance of the noodles and walked out of the house. Because she was thinking about Zhao Yun'er's family's banquet at noon, Feng Zhongxia did not prepare lunch. Who knew that the white tiger would take Tian away? Feng Zhongxia was afraid that Zhao Yun'er would come back from the mountain after a while, so she had been waiting. If Zhao Yun'er came back, she would be able to eat. If she waited and Zhao Yun'er prepared a banquet, she would not be able to eat the food from Zhao Yun'er's family after she was full. Unfortunately, she waited for more than 3 hours. It was already 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was past mealtime, and her stomach could not bear it. "Yun'er, third sister-in-law, why are you eating?" Feng Zhongxia frowned slightly, and her tone was somewhat questioning and dissatisfied. Liang Jinxiao looked up at Feng Zhongxia in confusion and replied, "Sister-in-law, what's wrong? Can't we eat? It's already past noon, and no one has eaten. So, we just made some noodles to fill our stomachs? Is there something wrong?" Feng Zhongxia's face suddenly darkened. Didn't they say that they were going to prepare a banquet at noon? Now that Zhao Yun'er had finally come back, the third branch only made some noodles. Wasn't she waiting in vain? "Third sister-in-law, isn't your family preparing a banquet at noon? Don't you want to prepare it? Why are you only eating noodles for lunch?" Liang Jinxiao frowned slightly and explained to Feng Zhongxia, "Sister-in-law, Yun'er just came back and she's hungry. If they were to prepare for the banquet at this time, who knew when they would be able to eat it? Why don't we make some noodles for lunch? It's convenient and fast, and we don't have to go hungry." The corners of Feng Zhongxia's mouth twitched a few times, and her face was extremely ugly. Usually, the banquet was prepared at noon. Now that the third branch had not prepared anything, could it be that they were not going to prepare for the banquet? Then wouldn't she have lost a good meal for nothing? Third sister-in-law, your family has bought all the vegetables. If you don't prepare the banquet today at noon and wait until tomorrow at noon, the vegetables you bought will probably spoil in this season, especially the meat. Yuna had spent money on it. She couldn't let it go to waste. I saw that Yuna bought a lot of groceries today. Your family won't be able to finish them all. Liang Jinxiao said, Sister-in-law, it's okay. The banquet will be prepared at night. The vegetables won't spoil as long as they don't stay overnight. We're family. We can eat whatever we want at noon or at night. There's no need to be so particular. Besides, Yuna did have something to do today, so she was delayed. Don't you think so, sister-in-law? Feng Zhangxia quickly nodded and said, Yes, yes, yes. Third sister-in-law, you're right. Our old Zhao family can eat together, either at noon or at night. The banquet is still necessary. After all, it's for the sake of celebration. Feng Zhangxia's originally gloomy face suddenly looked much better. Chapter 1657. Zhao Yun rolled her eyes in her heart. This Feng Zhangxia, although her mouth sounded nice, in fact, who didn't know that she was thinking about her family's food in her heart. It was true that other people's things were good, and she couldn't wait to take a little bit of advantage. Liang Jinxiao responded, and the smile at the corner of his mouth was a little resentful. Zhao Yun also didn't pay attention to Feng Zhangxia at all. The banquet at night indeed had to be prepared. The meat that was bought must be eaten on the same day, otherwise it would be easy to spoil. After all, the weather was getting hotter, and there was no refrigerator in ancient times. Thinking of the refrigerator, Zhao Yun suddenly thought of using saltpeter to make ice. When she was young, not every house had a refrigerator, but the people in the village would sell popsicles and ice cream. At that time, a popsicle cost 2 cents, but they ate it with relish. The person who sold the popsicles would put the ice into a box and then cover it with a quilt. This way, the temperature would be kept low and the ice in the box would not melt. This was equivalent to a small, simple refrigerator. In the era where refrigerators were rare, this method was used to preserve the popsicles. If she were to use saltpeter to make ice now, she could put the ice into a small sealed box and then cover it with a quilt. This way, even if the weather was hot, she could put the food or ingredients from last night into this simple refrigerator. It wouldn't spoil, and it wouldn't waste the ingredients. This would have to wait until she had time to do it, and she was not in the mood at all. As long as Tian didn't come back, her heart would be in suspense. She didn't want to organize the banquet at night. She thought that even if she didn't organize the banquet tonight, she would have to make it up. It would be better to do it directly. After all, the ingredients were already bought. After a while, the noodles in Zhao Yun's bowl were not so hot, and she swallowed the noodles in big mouthfuls. Liang Jinxiao also came out of the kitchen with a bowl of noodles. At noon, he made do with the noodles, afraid that it would be a waste if they couldn't finish it. At the banquet at night, there would be no leftovers, so Liang Jinxiao estimated that he made a bowl for each person. When she finished filling her bowl, the pot was filled with soup, so it wouldn't be a waste if she ate it. Zhao Yun glanced at Liang Jinxiao's bowl and saw that there were eggs in everyone's bowls except for Liang Jinxiao's. Zhao Yun frowned and asked, Mother, why don't you have eggs? Didn't you cook one for yourself? Liang Jinxiao smiled and replied, It's fine. Mother doesn't need to eat. You too can eat. Zhao Yun's frown deepened. Mother, how can you do this? You're not willing to eat it yourself, so you're saving it for us? Mother, you don't need to eat. It's not like I'm saving it on purpose. Liang Jinxiao continued to smile. Zhao Yun showed a poker face. Sometimes, she really couldn't stand Liang Jinxiao. Just like her mother from the 21st century, she always gave good things to her family and never ate them herself. It was just an egg. What was the point of saving it? Mother, you're not like before. You're pregnant. Don't not eat. If you don't eat, how can you replenish your nutrition? What about the child in your belly? Even if you don't think for yourself, you have to think for the child. Zhao Yun lectured as if she was an elder who needed to be lectured. She switched her role with Liang Jinxiao's. Chapter 1658. Zhao Yun sighed and said, "Mother, the past is the past, and the present is the present. How can the past be compared to the present? Don't say so much now. The most important thing is to take good care of your body. Come, mother, eat the egg in my bowl. I'm fine." With that said, Zhao Yun picked up the untouched egg in the bowl and placed it in Liang Jinxiao's bowl. Liang Jinxiao was slightly stunned and hurriedly wanted to return the egg to Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun moved the bowl to the side and said, "Mother, just eat it. Don't give it back to me." Liang Jinxiao frowned and sighed. "Yun, you little girl, eat it yourself. Why are you giving it to mother?"
Sigh.
"Mother, I'm not pregnant, so I don't need to nourish my body. You're pregnant, so naturally you have to eat more." Zhao Wenhua watched from the side and smiled at Liang Jinxiao. "Yun's mother, just eat it when Yun asks you to. Don't delay. Next time, if there's anything good, you have to be the first to eat it." Liang Jinxiao was helpless when she saw that Zhao Wenhua was also persuading her. Looking at the egg in the bowl, Liang Jinxiao thought about how filial her daughter was and how the family's life was getting better and better. Tears welled up in her eyes. "Yun, how about this? Mother will eat the egg, but we have to split it in half. Otherwise, mother won't eat it." Liang Jinxiao picked up the egg and split it in half. Zhao Yun looked at Liang Jinxiao's stubborn expression and had no choice but to say, Okay. Mother, I'll eat half, and you eat the other half. This should be fine, right?" "Okay." Liang Jinxiao smiled and put half of the egg in Zhao Yun's bowl, but she picked the bigger half. Zhao Yun felt a little helpless. Perhaps this was how parents treated their children. They always want to leave the best for their children. This was Liang Jinxiao's nature, so she definitely could not make her change anything at the moment. He saw that Zhao Yun's family was enjoying the noodles because there was enough oil in the noodles. Unlike them, they only added some water and didn't add any sesame oil. The entire courtyard was filled with the fragrance of noodles. That fragrance went straight into her nostrils, and Feng Zhangxia's stomach became even hungrier. Feng Zhangxia swallowed a few mouthfuls of saliva. "Third sister-in-law, I didn't eat at noon. Do you still have noodles in your pot? Make some for me." Liang Jinxiao looked at Feng Zhangxia, frowned, and said apologetically, "No, sister-in-law, I only cooked one bowl of soup. I didn't cook that much." Feng Zhangxia pursed her lips and said, "All right then. Third sister-in-law, why didn't you cook more noodles? I'm afraid I can't finish it." Feng Zhangxia swallowed her saliva and didn't continue speaking. Zhao Yun saw Feng Zhangxia's eager look. She guessed that Feng Zhangxia was thinking about her family's noodles. She was glad that Liang Jinxiao didn't cook so much. Otherwise, Feng Zhangxia would mention it. With Liang Jinxiao's temperament, she would definitely give it to Feng Zhangxia. Zhao Yun was full and was about to leave when she saw 3 figures walking over from afar. These 3 people were old Zhao's second son. Today, Zhao and Shui had no choice but to go to Li Chueying's maternal home and bring Li Chueying back. He stayed at Li Chueying's maternal home for lunch, so he came back at this time. Zhao Yun was a little disappointed when she saw that Li Chueying actually agreed to come back with Zhao and Shui. If she came back to live with a scumbag like Zhao and Shui, it meant that she would have to suffer in the future. Chapter 1659. Not only in ancient times but also in the 21st century. Under normal circumstances, women's contributions were not valued, and men took it for granted. But why did women have to contribute to their families? Because of their responsibilities to their families and children, women could not be cruel. Most of the time, they could only bear with it when they were wronged. In a marriage, they were always the one who was hurt. Sometimes, letting go could save oneself. It all depended on whether the woman could give up her children and whether she could be cruel enough. Li Chueying chose to come back this time, just as Zhao Yun, I thought. If it were for herself, she would not live with Zhao and Shui anymore, but for her daughter's marriage, she had to come back. She could not be absent when her daughter was getting married, right? Today, Zhao Jin accompanied Zhao Wenshui to pick up the bride. She cried in front of her and said that it was not easy for her these days. Li Chuiying let it go, so she agreed to come back with Zhao Wenhua. However, Zhao Wenhua did not gain anything from going to Li Chuiying's family this time. Zhao Yun found that Zhao Wenshui's face and eyes were bruised when he came back. He looked very miserable. Zhao Wenshui lowered his head, afraid that others would see the wound on his forehead. After all, it was a shameful thing. As a man, he was beaten and could not erase his face, so he was afraid of being ridiculed. The reason why Zhao Wenshui's face was so badly injured was that he went to Li Chuiying's family. Li Chuiying's family felt that their daughter was bullied by him, so they taught him a lesson. The wound was caused by Li Chuiying's 2 older brothers. Although he was a man, how could he deal with Li Chuiying's 2 older brothers alone? He could only be beaten. In addition, the purpose of his visit today was to pick up Li Chuiying to go back to his hometown. If he resisted, would she still go with him? Obviously not. Therefore, even if he was wronged, he had to grit his teeth and bear it. But he didn't expect Li Chuiying's 2 brothers to be so ruthless. They beat him so badly that he couldn't show his face in public. As soon as Zhao Wenshui and Li Chuiying returned, old Zhao's family members hurried to greet them. They all greeted Li Chuiying enthusiastically. "Second sister-in-law, you're back." Second sister-in-law is finally back. Second sister-in-law. After all, they were family. When Li Chuiying came back, they had to say a few words. Otherwise, if Li Chuiying ran away again, the second branch would cause trouble for the other branches. If Li Chuiying didn't leave this time, old Zhao's family wouldn't have to deal with all these troubles. Li Chuiying suddenly felt a little uncomfortable in the face of these people's enthusiasm. In fact, she was bitterly disappointed in Zhao Wenshui and old Zhao's family members. But she didn't expect them to treat her like this. It was really a little surprising. Hearing the noise outside, Zhao Baoshan hurried out of the room and said to Li Chuiying, "Second sister-in-law, you're back. It's good that you're back. It's good that you're back." "Father," Li Chuiying called. No matter what, Zhao Baoshan was talking to her, so she had to reply politely. Zhao Baoshan showed a rare smile when he called her. He had been sullen these days because of these trivial matters at home. As people got older, what they wanted most was a harmonious family and a happy family. Chapter 1660. Now that Li Chuiying was back, Zhao Baoshan's mood improved a little. It meant that the family could get along harmoniously again. "Baoshan, you have to be careful. Don't bully your wife. If I find out, I'll break your legs." Zhao Baoshan warned him sternly. Zhao Wenshui pursed his lips and replied in a low voice with grievance, "Got it, Dad." The brothers around him also persuaded Zhao Wenshui. "Yes, second brother, father is right. Second sister-in-law must be sincere to live with you since she came back to live with you. You have to treat second sister-in-law well. Brother Baoshan, if you bully second sister-in-law again and she runs away, you'll be the one suffering. You should know how difficult it is to live alone during this period of time when second sister-in-law is not around, so you have to treat second sister-in-law well." Brother Baoshan, for a moment, old Zhao's brothers and sisters-in-law all spoke up for Li Chuiying and criticized Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui was a little impatient. He had treated Li Chuiying badly before, but they shouldn't criticize him like this, right? If it weren't for Zhao Baoshan's presence, Zhao Wenshui wanted to retort. However, he was afraid that Zhao Baoshan would punch him, so he could only swallow his words. Old Zhao's family chatted for a while before Hu Chunhua came out of the room. "Old lady, second sister-in-law is back." "Yes, Mom, second sister-in-law is back." After hearing their words, Hu Chunhua just glanced at Li Chuiying indifferently and said, "You finally know to come back." Li Chuiying's face immediately darkened when he heard Hu Chunhua's words. He knew that Hu Chunhua was dissatisfied with him. The good atmosphere was ruined by Hu Chunhua's words. Zhao Baoshan glared at Hu Chunhua and reprimanded her. "Old woman, What are you saying? Second daughter-in-law has finally come back. If you don't have a good attitude, be careful that she doesn't leave in anger. When that time comes, I'll see who's going to take care of the second branch. They'll drag you down. Hu Chunhua became obedient after being scolded by Zhao Baoshan. Unlike the rest of old Zhao's family, Hu Chunhua was the first to notice the scar on Zhao Wenshui's face. Hu Chunhua quickly asked, "Second brother, what happened to your face? How did you get hurt like this?" Everyone finally noticed the scar on Zhao Wenshui's face when Hu Chunhua said this. "Yeah, second brother, what happened to your face? Why is it swollen like a pig's head?" "Second brother, your face is badly hurt. Are you okay? Who hit you?" Zhao Wenshui glanced at Li Chuiying when he was asked this question. He lowered his head and said aggrievedly, "My face got hurt because I went to bring Jing-er's mother home." "What do you mean? Second brother? What do I mean? What do you mean?" "I was beaten up by Jing-er's two uncles. They were so ruthless that my face got beaten up like this." Hu Chunhua immediately exploded when she heard that he was beaten up by Li Chuiying's two older brothers. She angrily scolded, "What? Second brother, Jing-er's uncles dared to beat you up like this? This is too much. They beat you up in his house. Aren't they afraid of injuring or crippling him?" Chapter 1661. Mother. Li Chuiying felt very uncomfortable after being scolded by Hu Chunhua. She stopped him? Why did she stop him? Her brothers were standing up for her. Zhao Wenshui was in the wrong. What was wrong with teaching him a lesson? If she ran over to stop Zhao Wenshui after he was beaten, her two brothers would feel disappointed. Hu Chunhua's mouth was unforgiving. She scolded and rolled her eyes. "Don't say that my second son doesn't treat you well. Look at you. You're the same. You don't care about your own man. Who do you expect to care about him for you?" Seeing the injury on Zhao Wenshui's face, Hu Chunhua, as his mother, felt very uncomfortable. No matter how bad her son was, she should be the one to teach him a lesson. It was not someone else's turn to teach him a lesson. Hearing Hu Chunhua's defense, Zhao Wenshui felt a lot better. The people in old Zhao's family all defended Li Chuiying and scolded him. His mother loved him the most. Sometimes when a man treats you badly, you have to think about whether it's your own problem. How can a man treat a woman who doesn't care about her own man and doesn't care about him? Li Chuiying saw that Hu Chunhua was getting more and more insatiable. He wanted to refute, but Zhao Baoshan scolded him in advance. Zhao Baoshan's face was cold as he scolded Hu Chunhua. "You only know how to protect your own son. Don't you know why your second son was beaten? You know what kind of bastard he did. Let's not talk about how he treated Jing-er's mother and made her leave. Let's talk about what happened between him and Widow Qian. If your daughter was bullied like this and your son-in-law came back, would you beat him up? I think your second son should be taught a lesson like this. It was a good beating. It was worth it. If he didn't beat him up, he wouldn't have remembered this lesson." After Zhao Baoshan taught her a lesson, Hu Chunhua's arrogance was reduced by a lot. She could be arrogant in front of her wife, but she was afraid when Zhao Baoshan scolded her. How could she not understand the logic of Zhao Baoshan's words? But which mother would not protect her son and protect her daughter-in-law? Her heart ached when she saw Zhao Wenshui being hit so hard on the face. "Mother, don't scold second sister-in-law. You can't blame second sister-in-law for this." Zhao Wenhua chimed in. Not only did he think that Zhao Wenshui deserved the beating this time, but he was also afraid that Hu Chunhua would drive Li Chuiying away again. Since that was the case, what was the point of having Zhao Wenhua go to Li Chuiying's maternal home to bring Li Chuiying back? He even got beaten up for nothing. Except for Hu Chunhua, the other members of old Zhao's family were more reasonable. After they took turns to scold Hu Chunhua, she was discouraged. Okay, I won't say any more. It's my fault. It's all my fault, okay?" Hu Chunhua snorted softly, turned around, and went back into the house. Zhao Baoshan looked at Hu Chunhua's back as she left. His eyebrows twitched. He felt that old Zhao's family had so many discordant things because of Hui Chunhua. So, what if she didn't say a few words? She would only be happy when the whole family was unhappy. Fortunately, there was no big conflict. When he went back, he would talk to her and tell her not to bully his wives. Second sister-in-law, you must be tired from the journey. Go back to the house and rest. Chapter 1662. After such a long journey, Li Chuiying was indeed a little tired. After listening to old Zhao's family, she went into the second branch's house. Old Zhao's family, who had gathered together, also dispersed. This was because the news of the white tiger coming down from the mountain to the village had spread. During the day, the villagers didn't wander around the village except for those who had to go out to do work. They were afraid that an accident would happen and they would be eaten by the white tiger on the mountain. Nothing was more important than life these days. If you lost your life, you would lose everything. Zhao Yun felt that she shouldn't give up eating for fear of choking. The villagers didn't dare to go out because they were afraid of the white tiger. She didn't think there was anything to be afraid of. If the white tiger really came down from the mountain, it would be easy to deal with it in the village. Not long after Zhao Yun went to the big house at the foot of the mountain, the furniture store sent the things over. There were several beds and cabinets, and it took 3 ox carts to bring them over. These pieces of furniture added together were extremely luxurious and shocking. Mulan's custom-made furniture was less than Zhao Yun's, so it only took 1 ox cart to send it over. Because there were many people in Zhao Yun's family, they had to prepare few more beds. When Zhao Tianen married Mu Hin, they had to prepare a wedding house. In this wedding house, the bed, wardrobe, and other basic furniture had to be prepared. They couldn't let such a good girl like Mu Hin suffer after marrying over. When the ox carts came to the village and saw so many pieces of furniture, some villagers who were bold and liked to join in the fun came out to watch. In broad daylight, with a few people together, even if the white tiger came over, there shouldn't be any big danger. One by one, they went to Zhao Yun's new house to join in the fun. However, compared to before, there were much fewer people joining in the fun. Zhao Yun's family had built a big house, and now they bought so many pieces of furniture. How much money did they spend? Originally, everyone in the village was about the same. Their lives were also ordinary. They were not rich and powerful. Now, only Zhao Yun's family had become an exception. How grand would it be to live in a big house with such furniture? It was almost the same as the big families in town. It would be a lie to say that they weren't jealous. What people hated the most was to see someone who was about the same as you suddenly become rich one day. The contrast in their hearts would cause them to feel a huge gap in their hearts. Naturally, they would feel unhappy. Oh my, old Zhao's third branch is really rich. They must have spent a lot of money to buy so much furniture, right? That's right. With so much furniture, how could they not spend money? I don't think you can buy these things without at least 3 or 4 taels of silver. I say, since old Zhao's third branch is so rich, why don't they buy a house in town instead of spending so much money to build a house? He's not the same as us, so he shouldn't stay in the village. You don't know, but it's not cheap to buy a house in town. Their family is rich in the village, but it's not necessarily the case in town. How can they have a sense of superiority in front of us? They're deliberately showing it to us so that we can be envious and jealous. However, there's no other way. I have to admit that old Zhao's third branch's life is getting better and better. They're much better than us. Oh, that's right. They're different from us. We can't climb up to such a neighbor. Yes, we can't. They're rich now, and we're poor. Chapter 1663. These villagers' words were more sour than the other. To put it bluntly, they were jealous and couldn't bear to see others doing well. Zhao Yun's family's conditions suddenly improved so much that they hated her. Zhao Yun heard the words of the surrounding villagers, but did not pay attention to these people. Others could say whatever they wanted. That was their business, and she couldn't care less. Her family's life was good and others couldn't take advantage of it. They could only watch. Several ox carts stopped in front of Zhao Yun'er's house. At this time, they were delivering furniture to him. The coachman's forehead was full of sweat. Zhao Yun just prepared a pot of tea, so he let the coachman rest for a while and drink a cup of water. The cart drivers didn't expect Zhao Yun to be so polite. They took the tea and drank it with a smile. Usually, they didn't drink tea. They only drank ordinary water. The first time they tasted it, they felt that it was exceptionally delicious. When they drank the tea, they felt that it was slightly bitter at first. Later, they felt that it was sweet and had a special taste. Moreover, it could quench their thirst. After drinking a cup of tea, the heat dissipated and their entire body felt much more comfortable. In order to support their families and earn more money, they couldn't wait to make a few more trips a day. Every time they made a trip, they would settle the bill. Even under the hot sun, it was no exception. At this time, people were about to get a heat stroke. For the sake of money, they still took the ox cart. Usually, after they made a trip to deliver the goods, the owner wouldn't be so polite to them. Zhao Yun was one of the few. "Uncles, please sit down and cool down. I've taken up a bit of your time. I'll find someone to help move it down." Seeing that Zhao Yun was so polite, the cart driver smiled and said, "There's no need to find someone. We'll help move it." Zhao Yun was a little embarrassed. "Won't this be too troublesome for you, uncles? These things are quite heavy. It's a bit tiring to move them. You're already tired enough to come all the way here under the hot sun to deliver the goods." The cart drivers waved their hands and said, "It's okay. Now that I've drunk a cup of tea, I feel much better. With the few of us together, it should be very fast to move it. Then we won't have to go through the trouble of finding him." Zhao Yun'er saw that the coachmen were honest people and their attitudes were sincere. Although she was a little embarrassed, she nodded in agreement and said, "Then I'll have to trouble you, uncles." In addition to her, there was also Mu Lianfeng and 3 coachmen who delivered the furniture. In less than 20 minutes, the furniture was brought back and placed in the room. After confirming that they were safe, the coachman left. Zhao Yun'er looked at the originally empty house. Because of the furniture, it suddenly became more full. However, she still had to buy some other things when she got back and tidy up the house. It definitely wouldn't be worse than the house of a rich family. Now that all the furniture had been prepared, the third branch of the family could arrange to move into the new house. "I'll pack up when I get back. I'll be staying in a new house tonight." When the surrounding villagers saw this, they couldn't do anything other than envy and jealousy. Who didn't want to live in a big house? However, they didn't have the money. Zhao Yun'er's family would probably need dozens of taels to settle this. How many families in the village could take out so much money? Chapter 1664. Zhao Yun really hadn't thought about holding a banquet. After all, holding a banquet wasn't a simple matter. It was rather troublesome. It seemed that there was such a custom in the village. Basically, when a new house was built, the people living in the new house would hold a banquet. "I'll ask my mother about this later," Zhao Yun replied with a smile. It would be better if they didn't have to hold a banquet. If they had to, they would take care of it together with Liang Jinxiao. It wasn't as if their family hadn't held one before. The old lady nodded and said, "That's good. If you want to hold a banquet, let me know. However, for the sake of celebration girl, your family definitely has to hold a banquet. It's just for the sake of liveliness." Zhao Yun'er smiled and agreed. The people in the village had eaten at Zhao Yun'er's banquet last time. They knew that Zhao Yun'er's family had prepared a lot of meat dishes that tasted very good. They would spend a few copper coins to join in the fun and freeload a meal. On the contrary, they profited. After giving the third branch's gift money, this favor would still be there. When their family held a banquet, the third branch would naturally have to return the gift money. Got it. Haha. Today is a good day for your family. Granny is also happy to see it. Seeing the smile on the old lady's face, Zhao Yun'er's heart warmed. Not everyone in this village was so bad. Some of them had good hearts. She didn't need to pay attention to some people. It was fine to interact with people with good characters. After arranging the furniture in the house, Zhao Yun went to call Liang Jinqiao and Zhao Wenhua so that they could prepare to move out of old Zhao's house. She went with Bai Chenming to the small rundown house that she had lived in for a few months to pack up her things. There weren't many things in the small rundown house. Other than a few quilts, there were only a few pieces of her clothes. Very quickly, after 2 or 3 rounds of moving, everything was moved to the new house. As for the third branch, Zhao Wenhua, Zhao Tianan, and Liang Jinxiao were there. There was more than enough manpower. The people from the first branch, the fourth branch, and Li Chuiying helped out a little. In a short while, the third branch's room was emptied. The first branch was not a good person. They took the initiative to offer help. Feng Zhangxia thought that if the third branch emptied the room, they would be able to make a wedding room for Tianhu. Naturally, she would be more attentive at this time. What if the third branch did not give the room to the first branch, but gave it to the other 2 branches? As for the fourth branch, they had always been on good terms with the third branch. Zhao Wentao and Qian Hongzhao were both good people. They were usually happy to help, so they helped to move things together. Li Chuiying remembered that when she fell into the latrine pit, it was Liang Jinxiao who did not mind her and pulled her up. At this moment, he finally found a chance to repay his kindness. Seeing that the third branch had moved out of old Zhao's house, the first branch was happy that the third branch had moved out of the room. The fourth branch was happy that the third branch could live in the big house. Only Hu Chunhua stood in the courtyard, pouting. Her expression was uncertain. Zhao Baoshan caught a glimpse of Hu Chunhua's sullen face and asked in confusion, "Old woman, what's with your reaction? It's a happy event for the third branch to move into the new house. You're making it look like a funeral. How unlucky." Hu Chunhua glared at Zhao Baoshan and said, "What am I happy about? What's there to be happy about? The third branch is moving into the new house, but they won't take me with them." The corner of Zhao Baoshan's mouth twitched. "I was wondering why you were unhappy. So it's because of this."
I'm right.
"I raised a son for nothing. He's living a good life without his mother." Chapter 1665. Playing dumb? Why would I play dumb? You know very well that Yun is the one who built the house. Why are you arguing with third brother? That Yun girl is not a good person. Our old Zhao family has raised her for nothing. Zhao Baoshan snorted. All right. No one is to blame for this. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself. Blame yourself for making a wrong judgment back then. Tell me, if you were nicer to Yun back then, she might have been nicer to you back then. If you don't move in now, then you deserve it. You old man, how can you say that? You only know how to speak up for that girl." Hu Chunhua complained with great dissatisfaction. "I'm not speaking up for anyone. I'm just speaking the truth. If you're nice to others, they'll be nice to you. As a grandmother, don't use your seniority to oppress others. Don't flaunt your seniority." Hu Chunhua realized that she couldn't win against Zhao Baoshan in an argument. What kind of magic potion did the third branch feed her old man?
He was always speaking up for them.
Seeing the third branch moving in and out of the house, Hu Chunhua felt even more uneasy. She also had to build a new house. She couldn't live worse than the third branch so that Zhao Yun could be proud. By the time Zhao Yun finished moving in and arranging everything, it was already 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Seeing that the sun had dimmed a lot, it seemed that it was time to prepare dinner. Zhao Yun had already bought the ingredients in the morning and moved them to the new house. She just needed to prepare some dishes and cook them. With Liang Jinxiao around, the 2 of them got busy very quickly. Qian Zhuzhao enthusiastically helped to wash and pick the vegetables, while Zhao Yun was in charge of cooking. Mu Lianfeng saw that Zhao Yun had bought a fish back. It weighed about 2 to 3 catties and could be cooked several big bowls. Zhao Yun wanted to eat braised fish, so she bought a big one. She just wanted to slice the fish and make some fish soup. When the whole family was eating together, old Zhao's family probably didn't care about the side dishes. They didn't usually eat meat dishes. What they rarely ate was meat. They bought 2 catties of meat and braised it in a big bowl. They could even stir-fry some shredded meat with the side dishes. This kind of meal be served until the new year. Seeing that Mu Lianfeng was about to kill the fish with a knife, Qian Zhozha hurriedly stepped forward and stopped Mu Lianfeng. "Lord Heir, let me kill this fish. Please rest." Mu Lianfeng raised his head and glanced at Qian Zhozha. He smiled and said, "It's fine. I'll do it." "Let me do it." Mu Lianfeng was a little puzzled. "It's really okay. I know how to do this. Yun-er taught me. Fourth aunt, you don't have to help." However, Qian Zhui insisted, "Heir apparent, although this isn't a tiring task, the fishy smell on the fish is too strong." "You can't smell it. What if the fish's blood splashes onto your body while you're doing it? Your clothes look very expensive. You should pay more attention to them. I'm wearing coarse clothes. It's better for me to do it." As she spoke, Qian Zhuzhao went forward and took the knife from Mu Lianfeng's hand. Then, she squatted down and began to kill the fish. Mu Lianfeng smiled helplessly. It seemed that he couldn't work in his usual clothes. He had to prepare some tattered clothes. That way, no one would stop him from doing farm work the next time he wanted to do it. Mu Lianfeng lowered his head and glanced at Qian Zhuzhao killing the fish. He had to admit that Qian Zhuzhao was much more skilled than him. Chapter 1666. Now that Zhao Yun'er's family had built a new house, the kitchen was bigger. Knowing that the few people in the family were gluttons and loved to eat, Zhao Yun'er prepared some delicious food from time to time. It would be more convenient for them to cook in the future if the kitchen was bigger. Usually, she liked to cook some food for herself. Previously, when two people entered the kitchen, they couldn't turn around. This time, there were 3 people in the kitchen, and it was still very spacious. There was a large table in the middle of the kitchen. There were bowls, chopsticks, and ingredients on it. There was also a chopping board for them to cut vegetables on. There were 2 windows in the kitchen. The lighting was very good, and the ventilation was good. In this season, one was most afraid of stuffiness when working in the kitchen. In the previous small kitchen, people couldn't stand it after a while. Now, they didn't feel uncomfortable in the kitchen. Qian Red Date sighed as she helped to cut the vegetables. A big house is good. It's more comfortable to cook in a big kitchen. Liang Jinxiao smiled and replied, "Yes, I think it's good too. I never thought that I would live in a house like this one day. It feels like a dream." Qian Red Date laughed even more happily. "Haha, third sister-in-law, this is all because Yun'er is good. If it weren't for Yun'er, she wouldn't be able to live in a house like this." Liang Jinxiao nodded in response. There was a sense of pride between her eyebrows. The greatest blessing in her life was to give birth to such a daughter. She brought the family to live a good life after suffering. The 2 sisters-in-law chatted as they cut the vegetables. Soon they were ready. Zhao Yun'er got the money for the stove and started to cook. After a while, a strong fragrance wafted out of the kitchen, especially the smell of meat. They couldn't help but swallow their saliva. They couldn't wait to eat it immediately. At this moment, in addition to being tempted by the smell of Zhao Yun'er's cooking, they were also hungry because they moved back and forth in the afternoon. There was a lot of work to do. The noodles they ate at noon were easy to digest but not filling. Now, they only felt that their stomachs were empty. In the kitchen, Zhao Yun'er quickly cooked a few dishes. In the evening, old Zhao's family came over. Zhao Yun, a new old Zhao's family's fighting ability, so she prepared more food. She was afraid that those people wouldn't have enough to eat and the third branch wouldn't have enough to eat. In addition to the fresh vegetables, Zhao Yun'er stir-fried a plate of fresh meat with garlic moss and added a few pieces of green pepper. The aroma of the fresh meat made people drool even more. In addition, he also prepared a bowl of loofah egg soup and a plate of scrambled eggs. In total, there were more than 10 dishes on the table. Yun'er girl, that's enough. You don't have to cook anymore. Qian Hongzhao hurriedly said after seeing Zhao Yun'er cook so many dishes. He was afraid that Zhao Yun'er would cook too much and not be able to finish it. If he couldn't finish it in the season, it would go bad easily. What a waste. Zhao Yun'er glanced at the dishes on the table. She was not sure. Under normal circumstances, 10 or 20 dishes would be enough. However, Old Zhao's gluttonous family members, especially Zhao and Shui, could eat a lot by themselves. After hesitating for a while, Zhao Yun'er said, "Fourth aunt, let's cook a few more dishes. Anyway, there are still dishes." "Hey, girl, you're really not shabby when you're inviting people." "It's my duty," Zhao Yun'er said while her hands didn't stop moving. The stove was burning wood, and the fire was very strong. A dish could be cooked in the pot for a few minutes. It was more convenient to cook vegetables without stewing. Chapter 1667. The pancakes were made with flour and a few eggs. They were mixed together, and then heated up in a pot. Some rapeseed oil was added, and then dropped into the pot. One side of the pancake was cooked, turned over, and pasted on the other side. Because of the addition of eggs, the pancake was golden yellow. It was beautiful and fragrant, making people salivate. After a while, the food was finally ready. Zhao Yun stood in front of the stove, and her forehead was covered with sweat. Her back was also soaked. She had to wash it well at night, and then go to bed. "Dinner is ready, dinner is ready. Everyone, sit down quickly." Liang Jinxiao greeted old Zhao's family with a smile. Zhao Yun ordered a large round table among the furniture. Old Zhao's family could squeeze together and eat at the same table. Under normal circumstances, a table could not sit so many people. The women had to stand and not eat at the table. Now that they could all sit down, they were naturally happy. "I've been hungry for a long time after smelling Yun'er's food. After waiting for so long, it's finally time." "Yes, Yun'er's cooking is amazing. Let's not be stunned and eat quickly." "Yes, yes, yes, let's eat quickly." Old Zhao's family was together and did not stand on ceremony. It was rare for them to eat such good food, so they immediately ate heartily. Zhao Yun could not help but think of Tian in the tiger's den and lost her appetite. Faced with a table full of good food, she only picked a little bit to eat. These dishes were chewed in her mouth like chewing wax, and she could not taste anything. The men ate and drank. It was the first time since they separated that they had a meal at the same table. Zhao Baoshan was suddenly filled with emotions. He was looking forward to seeing his family together and watching his family live in harmony. Now that they had separated and lived their own lives, he felt that they were not a family. The women ate faster and soon finished their food and left the table. The men continued to raise their wine glasses and drink happily together. There were still many dishes left on the table. Zhao Yun'er persuaded the ants to eat more. If they couldn't finish it, they would probably fall ill tonight. By tomorrow, these dishes would definitely be spoiled. "Yun'er girl, we won't hold back either. This time, we really can't eat anymore even if our stomachs burst." If he could stomach it, he would definitely eat it. "I have nothing to say about your craftsmanship." "That's right, Yun'er girl. Your cooking is too delicious. It tastes really good. It's just that you made too much. I reminded you not to make so much. You definitely won't be able to finish it." Zhao Yun'er smiled. "I'm fine. Not being able to finish the meal was better than not having enough." If she didn't enjoy the meal to her heart's content, she would say that her family's hospitality wasn't good enough. "Tell your uncles to stop eating and eat more. Men have big appetites, so they might be able to finish it," Qian Zhezhi said. As she spoke, she told the men to drink less and eat more. However, the men all liked wine. They would rather eat less than drink more. The wine that Zhao Yun'er bought tasted different from the wine that ordinary people in the village drank. It was good wine, so the men drank happily. Among the men, the one who drank the most was Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui had not drunk much wine in the past few days, so he was very greedy. He poured big bowls of wine into his stomach, and he was drunk. Chapter 1668. After being reprimanded by Zhao Baoshan, Zhao Wenshui lowered his head in fright and muttered, "Dad, isn't it a joyous occasion for third younger brother's family today? I was so happy that I drank a little more." Zhao Baoshan snorted softly. How could his own son not know what kind of person he was? His mouth was more eloquent than anyone else, but in reality, that was not the case. Zhao Wenhua smiled and said, "Dad, let second older brother drink a little more today. He doesn't usually have the chance to drink so much." Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Wenhua gratefully and nodded behind Zhao Wenhua.
Dad, that's right.
Third younger brother is right. Zhao Baoshan rolled his eyes at Zhao Wenshui. Right my ass. You gluttonous and lazy thing. Zhao Wenshui smiled embarrassedly and swallowed his saliva. He did not dare to look into Zhao Baoshan's eyes. Zhao Yin'er stood at the side and suddenly felt that Zhao Baoshan was a little cute. He liked to speak the truth and make people speechless. "Hey!" Zhao Wenshui suddenly shouted. Everyone at the table looked at Zhao Wenshui, thinking that something big had happened to Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui frowned and said faintly, "I drank so much that I can't hold my pee. I'm going to pee." Everyone at the table was speechless. Did he need to say such things out loud? Couldn't he just go to pee secretly? They thought that something big was going on. Zhao Baoshan glared at Zhao Wenshui angrily. "It's said that lazy people shit and pee a lot. It's true." Zhao Wenshui felt wronged. He was holding his pee because he drank too much. How could that have anything to do with laziness? "Dad, all right, Dad. Stop scolding second older brother. Second older brother, do you want me to send you to the toilet? You drank too much. Are you okay alone?" Zhao Wenshui stood up and waved his hand. Of course. There's no need for you to send me off. I'll go by myself and be back soon." "Second brother, can you really do it?" "Of course, I just drank some wine. What could happen?" Zhao Wenshui said as he staggered out of the room. Old Zhao's family didn't think too much about it and continued drinking at a table. At this time, Feng Zhangxia was defecating in the toilet. After eating so much all at once, his stomach was full, so he had some indigestion. Now he was in the latrine pit. However, after squatting for more than 10 minutes, he didn't manage to do anything. "Ouch!" Feng Zhangxia cried out softly. The pain was unbearable. If she had known earlier, she wouldn't have eaten so much. She wouldn't have had to suffer now. Unfortunately, there was no use in regretting. The pain would continue to hurt, and he didn't know when it would get better. Zhao Wenshui staggered to the latrine pit. When he opened the latrine door, he saw Feng Zhangxia's big white butt. His eyes immediately widened. Feng Zhangxia didn't seem to expect Zhao Wenshui to suddenly run over. She was shocked and hurriedly said to Zhao Wenshui, "Second younger brother, what are you doing? Why didn't you knock before coming in?" Feng Zhangxia's tone was reproachful. Zhao Wenshui drank too much, so his drunken mind was a lot muddled. He tugged at the corner of his mouth and smiled at Feng Zhangxia. "Sister-in-law, I didn't know you were inside, so I came in. I need to pee." Feng Zhangxia tugged at the corner of her mouth. Her expression was a little ugly. She urged him in disgust. "Then hurry up and leave. You can come in when I'm done." You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.